Hey guys, I'm learning TFT and I'm sharing my learnings with you so that I can learn more effectively and you can learn in the process as well. In today's video, we're going to go through a TFT Coaching Plus discussion by Aesah on doing a detailed augment analysis for set 14. So we're going to be able to go through a bunch of the new augments, and especially with the hacks, being able to understand how to value at augments, whether they're early in a stage, whether they're later in a stage, whether you have a 2-for-1 hack, augments, and being a lot more flexible with understanding augments, when they're good, when they're bad, the pros and cons of each is going to be a lot more nuanced and important in set 14 than it was in set 13. So having a detailed understanding of all of this is going to be extremely valuable to improve your play, and also just fundamentally can help you become a better TFT player. So before we dive into that, I'm going to first go into the meta mindset of the day, which is play your own game. If you'd like to be able to go straight to the augment analysis, take a look in the timestamp in the description below to jump ahead. For those of you who are new to my channel, the meta mindset is a psychology and philosophy focused section where I pull on my notes from a lot of the readings I've done. I've read, there's a span of a few years where I read over 100 to 300 books a year. And I captured a lot of my book notes and highlights. And so this section is designed to help you not only be a better TFT player in the long run, about a psychological approach to improving as a player, but also helps you improve how you live your life using TFT as a metaphor for your life. All right, so play your own game. First step is kind of this idea of following the herd. And by the way, a lot of this meta mindset for today was inspired by a viewer who I was talking to from, I believe it was last set. Last set had Lux, right? Yeah. So he was sharing a story about how he actually experimented with Archangel, double Archangel, triple Lux, or 3-star Lux in the early part of the set before Lone Hero Lux was even discovered. And he was like, wow, this is actually really strong. And he had a lot of fun with it. And it was working out well for him before Lone Hero Lux was kind of popularized. But once the meta kind of came out, all of the like TFT Academy tiers came out, he kind of veered away from that build that he was doing with Lux because nobody else was doing it, right? So he was following the sheep here, following the herd. And so once Lone Hero Lux was discovered, he was like, oh, maybe I should have actually pursued that path. Maybe I could have been the one that discovered Lone Hero Lux, right? And this happens so much in my game. I know I'm guilty of this. And this happens a lot for people in life, because so often you see a path forward like this black sheep where it may lead somewhere that's intriguing to you. Maybe that path is interesting to you. And yet we feel compelled to kind of consider what the rest of the herd is doing and giving up on our own path so that we can follow the herd. And there are pros and cons to that, but one of the people in TFT that is like the epitome of playing your own game is Leduc. I believe Leduc hit Challenger at some point in the history of TFT, and yet he found his own way to play this game in a way that he enjoys, in a way that he has fun, and yet can still be part of the community and provides value to the community, but he's choosing to play a different game, right? Most people that play TFT are playing the game of, okay, how do I climb the most? How do I get prestige in a certain way? And that's playing the other people's game, right? But Leduc's playing his own game because he's like, I just want to figure out what's broken. I want to figure out cool interactions in the game. I want to figure out how to communicate with the community in a way that's interesting to me. And so he's found his own way of playing the game that's interesting to him. And one of the downsides of playing the game the way other people are playing it is maybe other people don't have the same values as you. Maybe you don't have fun in the same way that other people do. Maybe what you're interested in doesn't match what other people are interested in, right? So, and this is true for TFT too, in the sense that everyone has a different play style. Even if you look at top streamers, the way that everyone sees the game is so different. And so if you are only trying to copy what other people are doing and not really considering your own style, your own preferences, what brings joy to you in the way that you play the game, it can be extremely hard to sustain yourself. And that's why you see so many players get burnt out, whether you're at the top levels or at the lower levels of TFT, because you're not really following what is interesting to you. You're draining your energy by playing other people's games. Whereas if you play your own game, even if you're not necessarily succeeding according to other people's standards, whether that's the rank, LP, or in life, whether that's how much money or status you've acquired, if you're playing your own game and achieving the goals, values, targets that are important to you, then you're going to live a much more fulfilling life. So we'll dive down into the details. Ronnie Ware, and I've talked about this before, who was a palliative nurse. She dealt with patients who were on their deathbeds, basically, terminal patients. She talked to a lot of people about their top regrets when they're dying. And number one was, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. So instead of being a white sheep here, the top regret of the dying was that they didn't choose their own path, that they didn't live the life true to themselves. Instead, they did what other people expected them to do. On the topic of following the herd, Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI ChatGPT, said, most people do whatever most people they hang out with do. This mimetic behavior is usually a mistake. If you're doing the same thing everyone else is doing, you will not be hard to compete with. So from a competitive standpoint, this is actually quite relevant in the sense that if you're doing what the rest of the herd is doing, then you're not going to have some significant strength relative to everyone else, especially if you're copying and not innovating in some unique and novel way, experimenting with a different path that someone hasn't tried out yet, then how are you going to stand out from everyone else? This is really relevant as AI is starting to take over a lot of jobs, and job security is going to be harder and harder to find. And if what you have done is copy what everyone else is doing, then if you're trying to apply for a new job, you don't look special in any way compared to other people, right? But the black sheep, even though, hey, this might be a dead end, right? If for every one Lone Hero Lux experimenter, there were probably 50 to 100 dead end builds that led nowhere. But if that player had fun in the process, even though it led nowhere, that's okay. But at the very least, you stand out from the rest of the crowd, which is, if you're looking to get hired, what you really want at the end of the day. Of course, you got to have a skill that's valuable and appealing, right? And the other thing is that a lot of times, if you are taking the not well-traveled path, you might get made fun of from the rest of the sheep, right? There's a quote I really like by Voltaire, who said, "Our wretched species is so made that those who walk on the well-trodden path always throw stones at those who are showing a new road." So these sheep tend to ridicule and throw stones and criticize innovators. Like even ChatGPT, when Sam Altman started it, a lot of people said, "You're crazy. That's not possible." When the iPhone App Store first launched, BlackBerry and all the traditional phone makers were like, "Nobody wants apps on their phones. You're crazy," right? Until you get this point where you hit critical mass, and then all the other sheep start following the black sheep, and then that becomes the new path. That becomes the new meta, right? When Lone Hero Lux was invented. And so, yes, you will be ridiculed, but it's better to be a black sheep on your own path that hopefully attracts other black sheep or other rainbow sheep or green sheep, blue sheep, whatever it is, right? Like if you are following your own path, the world is large enough. The internet connects like the whole globe to the point now that almost any black sheep can have their own small herd of people that value the same things, that care about the same things. And so better to be that, walking your own path, than to be a black sheep in a white herd where everyone's doing something that you just don't understand why. You don't value what everyone else values, right? And so Sam Altman is talking about how competitively it just makes sense, but also from an emotional fulfillment standpoint, it makes more sense to be with other people that care about the things that you care about, even if that's not going to be what the masses are doing. Naval Ravikant, the entrepreneur, said, an investor said, escape competition through authenticity. So the more you are by representing what you care about, the more authentic you'll be. And that's the way you stand out, because when you pursue the thing that you are interested in, you're far more likely to be able to innovate and create something new than if you're copying someone else. If you're just going onto YouTube and copying what everyone else did, like, yeah, you can get to diamond or master or even higher in that level, but you want to get to the top elite levels, you got to really make sure that you're driven and energized and passionate about it. And the best way to do that is to be authentic, to follow what you are interested in more uniquely than anybody else in the world, because that's the way you get a true advantage. Dostoevsky said, to go wrong in one's own way is better than to go right in someone else's. Joseph Campbell said, the world is full of people who have stopped listening to themselves, or have listened only to their neighbors to learn what they ought to do, how they ought to behave, and what the values are that they should be living for. And in many ways, he's describing that people have given up trying to be black sheep. They just want to merge into the crowd. And it's pretty sad when you do that. You lose a lot of the benefits of being an individual, having a unique voice, being creative, and having your own thoughts. In Alice in Wonderland, there's the scene that said, the cat says, where are you going? Alice says, which way should I go? And the cat says, that depends on where you're going. Alice says, I don't know. The cat says, then it doesn't matter which way you go. So if you're always asking other people around you, which way should I go? What should I be doing? What build should I do? What path should I take? You're just listening to other people. You're living other people's lives. You're not living your own, right? When you go back to what Bronnie Ware was talking about on The Biggest Regrets, that's the trend here. When you ask other people, what road should I take? Which way should I go? You're living the life true to other people, not you're living the life that others expect you to live, whether that's your parents, your friends, your teachers, the society that you live in, the culture that you live in. But when you ask yourself, which way do I want to go? Then the path you take can lead somewhere that's interesting and unique and scary, because it's risky to go off the path that everyone else has taken, right? But that's where the rewards are. No risk, no reward. All right, next, do your own duty. The Bhagavad Gita said, it's better to do your own duty badly than to perfectly do another's. You are safe from harm when you do what you should be doing. Howard Thurman said, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. And when you come alive, when you show that you're overflowing with energy, following your own path, you actually inspire other people around you to take their own path. And maybe they come and join you for a little bit. You can get maybe a few of these sheep to come join you on your journey, right? But then if you're really providing a spark to the people around you, you inspire them to carve out their own path. And we can all kind of be sailing and walking our own path in a way that's novel and interesting, compassionate and respectful, without throwing rocks at the other people around us or criticizing them, but rather recognizing that we all have strengths and weaknesses and uniqueness that we want to celebrate rather than criticize. Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss and don't be afraid, and doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. So a lot of times we're scared of carving our own road because whether that's Lone Hero Lux or that player that had pursued his own path, we're afraid that other people are going to make fun of us. We're afraid that's going to lead to a dead end. We're afraid that our parents are going to disown us or criticize us or disapprove or say that they don't love us anymore. And the thing is, when we live for those people who, or friends who are saying like, oh, you shouldn't do that, like that doesn't make sense, we're really shrinking ourselves in the process. It reminds me of a story where my wife, her first job coming out of school was investment banking. And actually, I think this was her second job. She switched from corporate banking to, I think it was also corporate banking, but she was 1 month away from hitting her bonus, which at that time was something like $60,000, which, you know, if you're in your early 20s, that's a good amount of money. I mean, even wherever, whatever phase you are in your life, right? And a lot of people who go into banking, they do it for the money. Everyone basically acknowledges that they're mercenaries. And so they're willing to put up with a lot of shit in order to do that. But my wife she was hating every day of it. And I was just suggesting to her, like, if you hate it so much, you know, just quit. Take this other road that all the other sheep aren't willing to take, right? And she did. Like, props to her. She quit her job in banking and she went into strategy at Microsoft. And then later she switched into product management at a startup. Same thing was true for me, where when I was, and so today my wife works at a VC firm and she's doing product there and she really enjoys it. If she didn't take that other path, she could still be in banking today, hating her life. Maybe she would have made partner by now, but better to do something you enjoy in a different path than to purely optimize and rise to the top of the herd in the status hierarchy and hate your life. When I was in college, I interned my sophomore year at Microsoft as an engineer, and then my junior year at Google as a product manager. And I found through those experiences that I really did not like working at a large company. I felt like I was a cog within a machine. I felt like I had no impact. At Microsoft, I finished what should have taken a whole summer, my project. I finished it in my first week. And I went up to my boss and I asked him, okay, I'm done. What can I do now? And he was like, it's okay, you could just chill. And I was really thrown off by that because it just felt like everything was moving so slowly that they didn't really feel like me as an intern could do anything truly impactful. They would just put me on this like side project that didn't seem to really matter. And that's why coming out of school, I started a company. That was actually in 2008 when the iPhone App Store first launched. My friends and I created a chess puzzles app and launched it. It hit top 25 in the App Store. And so then we started creating mobile games. That was my first startup. And so the basic idea is that, like, yeah, I had plenty of classmates. I was a electrical engineering computer science major at Berkeley. I had plenty of classmates that did go work at Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Apple, right? Like that was the easy path I could have taken. But I just knew instinctively that it wasn't what I really wanted to do. And I took my own path, and that worked out well for me. All right, comparison. So comparing yourself to other people is one of the biggest traps that you can fall into, and is one of the reasons that a lot of people decide to stick within the herd. Because when you are walking your own path, you don't even know who to compare yourself to. And when you compare yourself to other people according to the values of the herd, of course you're going to be ostracized. Of course you're going to be at the bottom of the hierarchy and made fun of, right? And so one of the challenges of walking your own path, of playing your own game, is that you kind of have to learn to come up with your own rules, like be your own game designer for your own game, as opposed to playing the game that everyone else is playing. Like think about Leduc, right? Like he came up with his own game design for his own life, for his own relationship with TFT and the community, that he feels fun and enjoys. And now that he's walking his own path doing that, other people are like, hey, that's pretty cool. Maybe I could do something like that. Or just like, hey, that I like watching your content. That's helpful. It's entertaining. So in their book, The Courage to Be Disliked, which is one of my top 3 probably favorite books of all time, the authors say, a healthy feeling of inferiority is not something that comes from comparing oneself to others. It comes from one's comparison with one's ideal self. So the best way to compare is not to other people, but rather to yourself. And what's your ideal self? What do you care about the most? What are your goals in life? What makes you come alive? What inspires you? What energizes you, right? And so instead of comparing yourself to, let's say in a TFT context, like to Dish Soap or Setsuko or whoever else, it's like, what's your ideal self look like? What does, in the TFT context, it's like, for Leduc, like his ideal self is experimenting and coming up with new and novel ideas and interactions in the game that make the game extremely fun, and then sharing that with the community. If for you that's to be able to compete, well, it's like, well, what does your ideal competitive self look like? Instead of saying like, oh, I need to be like Dish Soap, it's like, okay, what's my process look like? I am spending X number of hours a day focusing on improvement, deliberate practice, analyzing my games that I lost and figuring out how I could improve, right? Like, how can you make your ideal self energized in a way that you get up every morning, you minimize the amount of tilt that you get, you're taking care of your body, your mind, you are engaging with the game in a way that you feel alive? And how can you compare where you are today to that ideal self, and then create kind of baby steps, incremental tasks for yourself to move towards that ideal self? Ernest Hemingway said, there's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. So again, comparing yourself not to other people, but to who you were yesterday. And a key idea here is comparison and superior. When you use those terms, there's always an underlying value system, a judgment that is being made. And that judgment, when you are comparing yourself to the herd, is oftentimes using the herd's value system. So if Leduc was using the value system of, well, I need to be at higher LP, I need to be at higher rank, I need to perform better in tournaments, but that's not actually what he cares about, right? Whereas if he's comparing himself to who he was yesterday or who he wants to be ideally in the future, And the value system is, hey, how can I have more fun? How can I experiment and innovate, right? Like that's what he cares about. Well, then it makes his path forward a lot more clear as far as how he should act in the world. All right, find what you love. Steve Jobs said, you've got to find what you love. And that is as true for your work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a big part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. So many people just give up. They accept. I think this was especially true in my parents' generation. So like people in their 60s or older. It's like historically, people didn't have this idea that you should enjoy what you do. Like my parents' generation, they didn't have fun employment. A lot of my peers do now, right? Like you take some time off and you kind of explore and you experiment. But back then it was like, yeah, work is just something you do. Clearly I don't enjoy it, but I gotta do what I gotta do to make money, right? And the thing with the way the world has evolved, technology, media, it's gotten so much easier now to break apart from the herd and to find what you are uniquely good at and interested in. And a lot of times, those two, when you find a way to intersect what you're interested in, what you can be good at, and what other people find value in what you're able to do, because then they'll pay you for it. If you can find that perfect intersection, then you could be the best in the world at it because you care about it more than anybody else. And you're willing to do it not like work, but just because it's fun. And then people will happen to pay you for it. Like, that's just when the magic and spark happens, right? And that's what I work with entrepreneurs on, startup founders, because when you can find the unique way that you stand out and lean into that, other people can just tell, right? Like even just the way that I've created this channel. I didn't design this channel for in many ways similar to the duck, right? Like the YouTube, what the herd optimizes for on YouTube is views, subscribers, monetization. Like I'm fortunate in that I don't need to do this to make money. I do it because I enjoy it. And I especially enjoy the meta mindset portion and the learning portion of TFT. And what I'm interested in is spreading these ideas because I love psychology and philosophy. And when you are able to kind of split apart, like, okay, so other YouTubers are doing this for views and subscribers. Not all, but many are. And so I get comments like, oh, well, if you want to optimize your views and engagement, you should just remove the meta mindset section. But the thing is, that's not why I'm doing this. And as I have done more and more of these videos, what's also interesting is that in the beginning, I got a lot of like kind of negative feedback about like, hey, why are you including just yapping at the beginning of these videos? And then more recently, I am getting more comments that are like, hey, the meta mindset portion is really cool. Like, let me see. So Jeff Blazo said, time for the part of the content you came here for. That's what I said in my last video. It was like, because I'm so used to getting a lot of comments that are just like, hey, why are you talking? Why are you yapping so much? But he said it couldn't be farther from the truth. And so I said, I'm used to getting some negative feedback, but I'm glad to hear more people are enjoying it, right? And if we go to the comments for this video, so it's like I'm getting a lot more viewers that it's like, I'm just here for the meta mindset. The meta mindset was really helpful. You're doing it better than anyone else, right? I'm usually not a huge fan of the meta mindset, but I listened to this one and it's put many things in perspective. Right, so all of that is just to say, like, yeah, in the beginning when you are experimenting and doing your own thing, like other people over here are like, what are you doing? Like, this guy's kind of crazy. Like, we shouldn't follow him or we shouldn't watch his videos. Should just skip that section, right? But when you keep experimenting, eventually you will start to attract the people that are interested in what you're interested in. And that's when the magic really happens, right? But it takes time and it takes courage to allow yourself that time, and people will criticize you. And so a big part of that is developing a thick skin and really focusing on what's important. What matters more, right? Does it matter more what others expect of you and living for others, or does it matter more to live the life that's true to yourself? Steve Jobs also said, remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. This kind of came out because I had surgery 2 weeks ago. It's the first surgery I've had in my life, which I've been very fortunate. It was a hernia surgery. And I remember while I was about 15 minutes before I went into the operating room, the nurse was like, okay, go use the restroom, and then we're going to go in. And I remember thinking to myself, even though, you know, the risk of the surgery procedure I was having was very low, but the thought still crossed my mind, like, hey, if this is it, like, I think I've lived a pretty good life. And that reminder of our mortality, zooming out and thinking big picture, wherever it is you are in your life, whether you're in, you know, high school, college, your 20s, like, you don't really have anything to lose. You are going to die someday. And it could be sooner rather than later. You never know how much time you truly have. A freak accident could occur, right? And so there's no reason really not to pursue what you're interested in. No reason not to follow your heart. Because at the end of the day, it's all gone anyway. Bertrand Russell said, all serious success in work depends on some genuine interest in the material with which the work is concerned. Which is another way to say, when you're interested and passionate about what you do, you're far more likely to be successful in it. The inverse is if you're not interested at all in what you do, like let's say these sheep here, let's say it's like my wife. If she still was in banking, doing menial monkey labor, it's really hard to become really great at it if you're not interested in it, because then every day becomes a grind. Every moment that you're trying to do the thing that you're supposed to do that everyone else is doing is a grind. You just burn out. That to me is the number one or top 3 reasons of burnout. If you're experiencing that, is oftentimes it's because you're not doing something that you're genuinely interested in. And that's also why you are probably not being successful, because it's a lot easier to work hard and to do the hard work and to deliberate practice, put in more energy and effort into improving than anybody else when you are interested in the thing that you are doing. All right, and on the topic of being liked, which is a large reason that people stick with the herd, Anthony DeMello said, if you ever let yourself feel good when people tell you that you're okay, you are preparing yourself to feel bad when they tell you you're not good. So there's a double-edged sword to following the pack, right? If you are living for the praise of other people and that's why you're with the pack, then you're also preparing yourself to feel bad when other people criticize you. Whereas the inverse is, hey, I'm going to feel good because I'm doing what I'm interested in, and I'm going to listen to my own voice, then you are not reliant on other people for your own happiness. Right? So we go back to Joseph Campbell, right? When we are listening to the world about what you should do, how you should behave, what values you should be living for, then you and your happiness, your success in life is fully dependent on other people. And so you have given up your sense of control and power to the others around you. Whereas when you take control of your own life, you take the path, your own path, you are in control of your own destiny. Yes, there's a lot more risk because you fall down, you go down a dead end. Yeah, you can't blame anyone else, but at least you're in control of your own destiny. And another idea from the Courage to Be Disliked, they're talking about when you pursue your own freedom, you are going to be disliked. It's proof that you are exercising your freedom and living in freedom, and a sign that you are living in accordance with your own principles. So if you really want to become an elite level TFT player, like dish soap, for example, you got to learn to separate from the opinions of the rest of the crowd. Walk your own path, experiment, try your own thing. Because that's how you competitively differentiate yourself. But to me, more importantly, is that's the way that you could truly enjoy playing the game more. When you're playing up someone else's style, you're not going to have as much fun. You're not going to be as good. When you figure out your own style and your own value system, that's when the fun and magic happens, and that's when you can get a lot better at the game as well. All right. So that covers the meta mindset portion. And now I'm going to go into Aesah's Augment analysis. All right, so this is part of Aesah's TFT Coaching Plus program. He did a discussion group on new augments for set 14. And Rainplosion also joined this call and provided input into this discussion. So I'm going to take notes on the side here as well, just so I can learn this material better. And I will provide notes, links to this page here in the description below, although I'm kind of going to be jumping around to different augment pages. So you can use the search bar here to look up specific augments, and also just my note, all my notes. Like I publicly make all my notes available. So I'll provide a link to that in the description below. I'm going to play this on 1.5x speed, just so we can get through it quicker, because it is 2 hours and 22 minutes long. And yeah, let's get started.
Okay, so I'm just going to look through all the new augments. If I have time, I'll go through and look at some old ones, but I'll just look at all the new augments and talk about whether I think they're good, and just general thoughts. And if any old augments stand out, I'll mention that as well. Adaptive Strikes, Gain of Jax. I mean, this is pretty simple hero augment. This should be played. How do I format this so it'll automatically show the whole thing? You guys know. Sorry,
I'm actually gonna do 2x.
Sorry. I think you go wrapping, and then you expand it, and you go to wrap.
Okay, nice. Okay, so I think because it's infinitely scaling, his ability grants attack speed. It's probably 6 Bastion, maybe Zeri Duo, because you get extra tech. Probably Archangel, Quicksilver. Is kind of what I'm thinking for this one. As for if it's good, who knows? It'll just depend on the numbers.
Yeah, back when 6 Bastion, before they nerfed it, I guess people were playing Jax that way.
Yeah, I've actually played this, and it seemed very strong, but we'll see. Button Mash, Gain a Copy. I have not seen this.
Yeah, what does 3-hit wallop actually mean?
I would assume this is the same as there's an old Poppy hero augment that did this instead. Yeah. It was the Bastion Poppy with Fairy Lilia. I don't remember what the Poppy was. She was Witchcraft Bastion.
Yeah.
So I think
And
if this is the same,
assuming
it'll be
it
80
would
items.
still, I'm assuming it would be on like the target in front of her rather than like her regular ability hits like 4 spaces away, so it hits like a backliner. But I'm assuming the hero one would not, but maybe it would. That'd be.
Yeah, I haven't seen this before, but if it's the same as Witchcraft, then this is probably also Vertical Bastion with probably Vigard, Joe, or Cyber Boss. That's my guess. I don't actually know what it is, of course. Right, what else? Cease and Desist by Hero Augment. I haven't seen this before. But yeah, probably Vertical Vanguard. A lot of these, they're turning a tank. Oh, let me finish ultra wrapping.
I've already been
They're turning
taking
like a
a
tank
lot
unit
of notes
from a
here.
trait that
That's
normally
why
doesn't have any damage units.
I have
So you can
additional
take advantage of
information.
just playing Vanguards and still having damage. It seems like there's not that many new ones. Last time I remember I was looking for new ones, and there's so many.
Yeah, I think there's one more for Silas. But I think that's it.
Wow,
Yeah, they definitely did a much bigger pass last time.
okay, well this is actually kind of nice. We'll be done in no time. Let me just look through some of the other ones. See if anything else stands out. I know like some of these you can get on like some of these like over encumbered. You can get on like 2/5, which make them really strong because it kind of like takes away the downside.
Do you think diversified portfolio might be better this set since it seems like playing a lot less like verticals and more like using breeze of traits?
I think so far it looks weaker because there's less 3-trait units, but we'll have to see how it plays out. It kind of just depends on what the meta comps are.
Makes sense.
But I think if you're not playing meta comps, since there's less 3-trait units, it'll be harder. Okay, so the only other new silver is Wolf and Chain. That's it. Wow, that's wild. Also confused how support mine is 8 times, but plus is 7 times. Is this right? This doesn't seem right. It's a full stage later.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it used to be 5 times.
Yeah, they did nerf all of these by 1 round, but I don't know if plus is that different than. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna worry about too much. Wolf Unchained deals more damage recast on kill, so this is probably also Vertical Vanguard. Health doesn't scale with ability power, but it does more damage.
Oh, there's also a Kane one.
Why is this not? Oh, it doesn't auto wrap. Let me just make this bigger then. I'll probably be fine. Yeah, I actually just finished a game playing the Kane one. So it seems pretty similar. So this is probably also the same thing.
Lots of vertical vanguards.
Yeah, it seems like there's very few new augments. And that was like, so I actually didn't understand what this did. So it's every 5 rounds of stratch is active, bet whether you win or lose more in those 5 rounds. So if you've already lost if you've already won or lost 3 rounds by then, it's guaranteed. When I first read this, I thought it was you would have to predict what would happen next round. But yeah, if you've already won or lost 3, it's guaranteed. So the only way it's not guaranteed is if you're exactly 2-2. So I think like if that happens early game, you can just stack your board and guarantee a loss. But yeah, this seems.
Not catch that.
When I first read this, I thought you lost if you've already won or lost 3 rounds by then, it's guaranteed. When I first read this, I thought it was you would have to predict what would happen next round. But
so it counts whether you've already won. Counts historical.
yeah, if you've already won or lost 3, it's guaranteed. So the only way it's not guaranteed is if you're exactly 2-2. So I think like if that happens early game, you can just stack your board and guarantee a loss. But yeah, this seems really strong. Yeah, I mean, it just seems really strong. You're getting a full item every stage. I think if this was only stage 2 and only stage 3, it'd already be not bad. It also gives you 4 gold worth of units. Yeah,
And I'm assuming
I
it's
think this
like
needs a nerf.
super good. It's all probably also super good too because you don't have to like play for. Well, I mean, you're gonna play strategist vertical like flex anyway, but like you don't have to necessarily carry like blocker or something like that. You can probably play other things that have strategists in them and just use the free items.
Oh yeah, you just play like a street demon board. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah, you don't need to play strategists. Only need to. Guaranteed every stage, unless exactly you win 2. Okay, what else is new? Ultra Ego. I just played this augment. I think this could be Vertical Vanguard or Divinicore. I'm not sure. Vertical Vanguard and or Divinicore. And I think you want full damage. Maybe like IE Hodge. I kind of built him bruisery because I was thinking he could like kind of go infinite, but it's definitely not strong enough to do that. Border Director. 3 or fewer Divinicore champs or bones are increased by 70% plus. Okay, it also says 0%. Has anyone seen this augment?
I trolled with it playing
Okay.
Kane augment earlier, but I
Do you
took
know
it on
what
like
this might
4-2. I don't really. I think it said 10%.
Okay.
Or
I
maybe.
feel like that would make sense.
Yeah.
So basically, let's say you're playing 3 Divinicore. So let's just say we're playing Kane, Gragas, and Morgana. Just pick some random ones to make things simple. Then it would be giving us like 6 armor MR, or like 5. Yeah, I'm just gonna round this to 100%. I think it's pretty comparable to just round it to 100, especially if this is actually 10%. So then it'd be giving us exactly like one of each of these, right? So 9, 6, and 50 HP. That seems pretty mediocre to me, especially because it has a downside attached to it, like where you are only getting that if you're getting. I'm a little confused. Maybe but Divinicore champions gain double, I guess. So then you're actually getting like 18, 12, and 100.
Yeah, it kind of depends when it adds, like whether the doubling comes last in the formula or earlier.
Yeah, I guess
maybe it would be better if you weren't planning to play like a vertical, like Divinicorp. Like if you were maybe if you were trying to like splash Divinicorp units.
Well, you have to have 3 or fewer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense. But like I mean, like if you were playing around like if you weren't like instead of if you were playing around Vex, maybe and you were thinking like that might be better with it might be better than just not take the augment and go with regular vertical Divinicorp, as opposed to like maybe you're playing a different comp that uses Divinicorp units, and then you get the bonus from the bonuses without, as opposed to like
I think you want to play like exactly 3 with this augment. Otherwise, you're like not getting the full value. That would be my guess. So it kind of depends if there's any like good comps for that. But I feel like so. Are there any other gold augments that kind of give you a little bit of everything? Maybe like item collector is something we can compare it to. Find it. Alphabet. Okay, item collector. So let's just say we have 8 unique items with item collector. I feel like that's. Let's say we have 10. I feel like that's pretty reasonable. So this will give us 70, 15, 70 health, 15 AD, 15 AP. If we took this thing, it would give us more than that on our 3 Divinicorp units, but less than that on everything else. It honestly seems like okay if you're playing exactly 3. It seems like pretty mid otherwise. I personally think this is underpowered. So with exactly 3 Divinicorp, basic logic. I said 10 items for item collector, which is pretty high. Item collector is definitely balanced around having less than that, but I think the drawback with this is like more restrictive. Okay, capacitor. 200% of mana spent. I haven't really seen this. I feel like this is really hard to evaluate without. Yeah, this is just really hard to evaluate without like seeing the game. I think shield is somewhat comparable to damage. So, like for example, Azira, whenever she casts for 60 mana, she deals. I'm gonna use Azira too. Whenever she casts for 60 mana, she deals about 800 damage. Oh, sorry, 600 damage. Only 1 vine compared to last set Azira. And then she'll shield for 120. So I would think of this like the 120 shield is comparable to 120 damage. So that would be like a 20% increase of like the value of the spell, which seems pretty high. The drawback is you have to play techies, but I would say this seems pretty good to me.
Do we know if when it says lowest health techie, is that percentage health, or is that like, well, is this going to randomly shield like your Zyra in the corner because she has 800 health?
It's usually percentage health, but I would definitely agree that there's a big problem with Riot's consistency because sometimes it's not percentage health. For example, like I mentioned, I just played this, the Kane Augment, Kane Ross, place with the dash. Oh, I don't know if it'll show his ability where. Let's see if I can pull it up real fast. I know I just played against Soap. Maybe he like mouse over it at some point.
Robin played one, I think, earlier. No, never mind. That was Nike.
Yeah. I think I found one like pretty early. Oh, he probably mouse over my unit, right? But I think it says lowest health, and it's not percent health.
Oh, yeah, I feel like I might have seen this at some point and noticed that. It feels like it would be really strong if it always did percent health.
Yeah.
But I felt like this shields were going.
No, I think the techie one should be percent health.
Okay. In that case, maybe it's also worth noting that like resists on your frontline carry and techie, probably like a Nico or whatever, is
yeah,
or like a Shyvana, like could be really good when you have this one.
Yeah, or Mortizer.
Mortizer, yeah.
Nico is not a techie.
Why would it be percentage health?
This one, I would assume this would be percent health, right? Otherwise, they would just shield you like your Zyra.
Oh, okay, yeah, probably.
Yeah, Nico's on strategy.
Yeah.
This seems to me this seems strong. It's strong. It's 6 plus techies. Value for shields. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. I think we all know about this. I talk about it all the time in my content.
Is that techie tank the techie?
Sorry, it's Mordekaiser or Shyvana, I think. But I'm not sure. Because yeah, maybe the main tank is Nico, and then you're not getting the value. But I think he would just use maybe Shyvana reroll or Mordekaiser reroll.
I think it's
like Shyvana Vigar.
Like, yeah, I think it's Shyvana Vigar. But I think we play any of those. You spend a long time not at 6 techie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean maybe it's good with just Vigar. That would be 80 shield per cast. Not sure.
The tech is to just give Garen and make Nico a techie without having to use an item slot.
That would be good for the Augments.
Or you make Garen a techie, and when he casts, he has a
massive shield. Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's not that much. 200 shield. Okay, never mind.
But go. 220 mana.
Oh yeah, 4
value.
Yeah, true. I mean, Komiko is just good as a techie anyway.
Right, yeah.
Okay, cognitive. Techies gain 5 Vigar, increase by 1 for every 2 takedowns. So this is learning to spell, but only for techies. I just want to compare it to what the old numbers were. So learning to spell used to be 12 AP and 1 AP for. So this is actually worse than learning to spell.
If this works as written, this is one of the worst augments in the game.
Because it seems pretty good, yeah.
There's specific things that don't want AP as well. It's like on the worst trait for.
It seems pretty bad. Yeah.
It feels like strategies or something would be better.
Yeah, I agree. That's dealing with techies. They seems bad. Maybe I should like color code these or something. Not really sure. Bad ones and good ones. I think this one is very good. And the rest of these are mostly augments. This one seems bad. It seems like not amazing. Okay, there's a lot more new gold augments, it seems. Cower, weakling.
Sorry, the strategist one, how can you have exactly 2 wins and 2 losses?
I say again?
Like, pull in? The strategist one?
Oh, yeah. I think it would pull open, yeah. Yeah, I think you should just definitely full open. I mean, you got a full item.
But but how can you have exactly 2 wins and 2 losses?
What do you mean? How can you have exactly 2 wins?
What do you mean guaranteed every stage unless exactly 2 wins, 2 losses?
Wait, I don't understand your question.
What does that statement mean?
It
Guaranteed every
doesn't
stage.
mean
So basically, yeah. Well, for like any random game.
Mhm.
Okay, so basically, like, 2 wins and 2 losses. So in this case, I'm 2 wins, 2 losses, right? If you're not exactly 2 wins, 2 losses, you're guaranteed the item. Because you're predicting whether you have more or less losses out of 5. So hypothetically, if I was like 3 wins, 1 loss, I would just predict win, and even if I lost, I would still get an item.
Wait, sorry. When does this happen?
It happens at every stage on 2-6 at the start of the
Happens
game.
on
2-6? I thought, are you sure it doesn't
Happens on
happen
6?
Wait, sorry.
That was
What? Oh,
one.
it's
I think it happens
2-1?
on 2-1. I
Oh, it
believe
happens on 2-1.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never played it.
Yeah, I think it happens.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I
why
see.
would it happen at post carousel?
Alright, you're right. Okay, so let's play with Cypher. Okay, so it makes it less OP, so let's play full open.
Yeah, I think it's still hilariously OP. Like, unless
Yeah.
you think that, unless you think,
I mean, this is comparable
um,
to, what's up, one augment that gives components but less gold. What doesn't kill you?
what doesn't kill you. I think this is much stronger than what doesn't kill you, straight up. Because you can guarantee you lose at least 3 rounds on stage 2.
Yeah.
You can guarantee you lose at least around 3 rounds on stage 3. And
Yeah.
if you've done that and you're up level Augments, especially if you're launching because of your econ, you can almost certainly guarantee that you win 3 of your stages on stage 4.
I see.
Like, even your econ. I think it's like hilariously broken.
Yes, I
But
agree.
that you almost certainly have to like lose streak with it on stage 2.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't realize that it was at the start, but that makes sense. You were just predict lose. Yeah, just predict lose.
Yeah, like you almost always predict lose on 2-1 unless like you have something insane.
Yeah,
Does
it also
it matter
makes
all
you
that does it matter all that it's just a completely random item? As opposed to like an anvil?
It definitely makes it worse, but you're still up 4 components total. So I guess like, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I should make a note of that.
Is there comp that is 80 strategist, I guess?
I know, so plays both 8 plus 8.
Yeah,
I mean,
not
to
even-
me, like, it's best with Cypher, of course.
Yeah.
So that would be like the most likely thing.
I mean, I also think getting you like basically like 4 gold at the start is also pretty strong.
Yeah, it's extremely relevant. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think that one's still very OP. We're gonna talk about Cooking Pot. It's not really new, but like different enough. Main category 5, I think is Vayne always. But Cooking Pot, I'm not sure. I think like Reserves show that. I'll just say that, I guess. It's not that important, but technically this comes later alphabetically. Okay. Player boss abilities reduce artist's max health by 20%. They take 20% less damage from enemies with less max health. So to me, this seems like clearly like Poppy 3 Vigar 3 reroll. It seems really good. Because I think if you have a Poppy 3 with tank items, pretty much everything is always going to have less health in it, especially once it gets tagged. But even before it gets tagged, like 20% less
This
damage.
thing looked insane to me, and I was listening to like some Vigar 2 boards.
Seems,
That thing.
yes, this definitely seems very green to me.
Like, especially because the cyber boss abilities are all AoE. Well, not all of them, but like the cyber boss is AoE. It's so easy to basically just apply the max health reduction instantly.
Yeah, it seems really strong to me. Okay,
Are you trying to push levels with this? Like, is this just like a get Vagar 2, push to 9, find Kobuko, or do we still reroll when we take this?
I think it's reroll just because of this part. If you reroll, you can kind of guarantee that your Poppy takes less max damage, and I mean, you're never really playing for a 5 cost with any comp. If they're like a 4 cost cost tank, I can see it. But I don't think there are any like 2
Well, I
in
think
the game.
Because it's max health and most damage dealers are backliners, like you even on 2-star you sometimes trigger. You
Yeah.
often figure out.
That's true. If you have a Poppy 2 with a Warmogs, you're probably rocking this first pretty much everything. That's a good, yeah.
It won't work against the frontline, but like you don't really care that much about the damage the frontline
Yeah,
does.
I think the main issue is only cyber bosses take less damage, which makes you want to tank with your Poppy. And if you want to tank with your Poppy, you should probably go 3-star. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because this is less value if you're just maintaining like Sejuani like normal, or Shyvana or whoever. But it seems really strong. Okay, Cut Purse. I've seen Cut Purse a few times. 4% chance where they critically strike. If you have 2 execution early game, you're not going to have more than 2 usually. Then your crit strike chance, let's just say about 50%, which means about 2% chance to drop gold when they attack, roughly. What is Gambler's Blade? Probably have to go set 13. Gambler's Blade is 5% chance to drop gold, so it's basically each of your units have about half of this at 2 executioner, but once you get more executioners and glow items, that goes up by a lot. I would say if you have a Varus, you should always take this. If you don't have a Varus, it's probably fine. I mean, it gives you a Graves and Rengar, like a lot of times you get like maybe like a Graves 2 or something off this. But yeah, okay. 2 exec, about equal to Gambler's Blade. It's less because it doesn't give you all the attack speed. But you can also get glove items as well. So I think that kind of balances it. Just take it out of this one plane. Sure. I think this is like balanced. I think it can be like really strong in this one. Clever deck on combat smart. Yeah, if you have 3 execution, it's probably about double. I'll make a note of that. Okay, there's.
You can just roll number 2 for even for Varus.
I think a lot of times when you're playing executioners, you don't mind rolling on 6 because you're rolling for like Rengar or Graves 3 anyway. But it kind of just depends how the line ends up playing out. But yeah, I would think this is about like 3% for each one times 3, so about 9%. Roughly, is how I think about it. Cyber deck. Up to 3 rare extra tech units with 2 items gain an extra. Okay, so this is basically 3 items if you're playing. But obviously you have to scale into it. You need 6 items, and then it'll give you 3 items. I mean, that seems extra tech items are slightly stronger than craftable, so this seems really strong to me. I only put this in green. It's basically like 3 full items, right? 3 items. Have 6. 2 items. You have 4. I mean, obviously you have to play extra tech. Extra tech items are slightly stronger than craftables also. So yeah, I think like this is
Do we
really
know-
playing extra tech.
Does the exotech item given by the trait count as an item towards it?
Wait, say that one more time.
Does so if say you're playing 3 exotech
Okay.
and the trait exotech nectar, you get an exotech item.
Oh,
Does
if you
that
yeah, if you
exotech
get the
item
same one.
count? Well, or
Uh,
does it just like even does it count towards?
That's a good question.
like,
I would
item?
imagine it counts for sure. I guess it'd be kind of weird, like if you already have flux capacitor, basically Zeri, do you get another flux capacitor? I mean, that seems really good.
I mean, you might because
It seems like you would, right?
I thought I saw a screenshot of someone I think Bears with 2 hollow bows.
Okay, I think that would make the most sense.
Isn't it kind of weird? Like, if as soon as you start equipping extra tech items, your units don't get extra tech items anymore.
Yeah, because of course you're going to use extra tech. I mean, I think it would have to work that way, because obviously you're going to use your extra. It seems like this fight has the best synergy with itself, right? Because then all shields will be 30% stronger, and then you get double the shield. Seems really OP with this one in particular.
Yeah, maybe.
Really good scaling with 2x. I don't even know who would get this though. I guess Mordekaiser. Or 3, maybe. We'll have to see. I think a lot of this stuff, it's kind of fun to figure it out, but a lot of times you have like millions and millions of players playing it, and you just kind of know after like a week. But yeah, my guess is Mord 3. Divine Ascension. Okay. After 12 seconds, your Divine Course champions ascend. So this is faster than regular Ascension. Effect is what does regular Ascension give these days? It keeps getting changed. I mean, I guess there's no what does it give these days because it doesn't exist.
12 seconds. 12 seconds does actually get you first late game. It is a little bit awkward.
Yeah, it's like second wind used to. So hard to find Ascension. Oh, final Ascension. After 15, they gain 45% more damage. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. For vertical Divine Core. I don't think I would put it as like a highlight as this is OP, but I think this is pretty good.
For what's worth, second win proc at 10 seconds as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
I really wish there was like a better okay, so it was after 10 seconds of combat, and then the units actually healed 75% of their missing health.
Yeah.
And it was strong at the time, but it still had the issue of sometimes not proccing, especially on frontline. I feel like the Vinicore oftentimes has the issue where the frontline cannot hold up. Maybe if 3-cost rule becomes a thing and you actually have a really tanky Gragas, this is fine. But
Yeah.
I personally would be hesitant to take this because I feel like a lot of the current Divinicore fights, if Vex wasn't bugged, is Vex like literally just one-shotting like everything.
Okay, yeah, that's a good call out.
The Divinicore line itself does not seem very tanky.
True. I think the stat tag is really good, but yeah, the line doesn't really go well with Ascension. Dummy with a gun. What a funny name. I've never seen that. Syndicate active, your train dummy shoot enemies. Dummy. 2 times they attack. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like tower defense, but for Syndicate, it doesn't sound very good, I have to say.
That's pretty bad.
Like, if the strength of the dummy is equal to tower defense, I would say it doesn't sound very
Especially because like you don't get value out of this until you get to 5, but like you don't really want 5. Especially because it's so AD focused and the things don't scale that well with AD.
good.
Yeah, I wish there was like an archive of all the augments. From past
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, you can actually find them on Law Chest, but it's kind of annoying to do, yeah.
Oh, really?
Golden, Ox, Gain. Has anyone seen this? Expensive Taste. Oh, it's not even on test. Okay, so anyway, Golden Ox gains attack speed every 8 shops contains a 4 cost, reduced by each unique. Okay, so if you're playing 2 Golden Ox, every 6 shops contains a 4 cost. I mean, this thing's really bad unless like this is like good enough on your like graves alone to me. I think
I don't know if this thing exists, so I don't know what the percent attack speed is.
yeah, sure, fair enough. I'll just say
I don't think it exists.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
there were a couple things like Cypher Crest was in here too, and that doesn't exist obviously. So there might be some in here that aren't actually in the game.
I can't. Why can I not? I'm trying to. Why can I not type in? Okay, sure. Okay, sure. Flatline. Marks an XQ under 12% health. I mean, that part is definitely not bad. Every time marks an XQ, all marks can get 4% attack speed. I mean, this is fine. What XQ augments have existed in the past? So we kill 4 units at 16% attack speed. I think this seems okay. I mean, it gives you Gen and Kindred, so again, like a lot of times you're gonna take this at 50 start early game. But it seems okay. Seems like balanced to me. Sure. Pretty straightforward augment. Freestyling. I saw Rainplosion play this. I've also played it as well. I'm pretty whatever about this. I don't think it's that good. It does give you 3 street demons though. That part is
I
kind
think
of
it's pretty mid. I think you can take it if you
yeah, I think it's okay.
if you like want the 3 street demons.
I'd say like the same thing, honestly. The way I think you can either like maximize your hex's tag, but you lose combat power for every hex tag. So I was just like giving street demon just to my strongest unit and tagging with the rest of my units when I was playing it. I feel like that seems pretty reasonable. But if you're lost streaking, you could just full tag. Maybe you have 2 really strong units. I feel like both of those.
I would take it because I mean currently, and I don't think it's still too much on live. Street demon vertical is just not a very compelling vertical to make. And also,
There you go. That's a good call out.
The benefits of playing like of being able to position in Street Demon are pretty minor because the Street Demons themselves are not super like positioning dependent.
Plus, you still need to, if you want to like put your carries on the super hexes. The super hexes aren't like they still are in set places, so it's not even like you get the freedom of moving your carries around.
I'll say something slightly weak. Yeah, don't say that. Okay. I think you always get super hex at the start. I guess it's not clear, but you could just do like middle and both corners for your first tag. You're guaranteed one of those at least. But yeah, I don't actually know.
You can let me know when you figure that out.
I don't think I've ever figured that out.
I will not be taking this thing on ladder.
Okay. Yeah, you really don't want to position like in that way on round, like
Yeah.
unless you're trying to lose streak. And you're not even killing units that way either. So
Unless it gives me Zyra 2 plus Mundo 2 plus Echo 2, I will be passing.
golden fleece. I mean, this to me, one gold
It's
every
really
2
strong
rounds.
to me.
So basically, you get one gold every round with 2 golden fleece. Master interest is 7.
I don't know if it has a unique cap. That's the thing about it.
Yeah. So you're just okay.
You might be able to
compared
play Sprouts with two Graves and just lost streak with it.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a great Alster, so Master interest is 7 tends to be better in Econ Galaxy. I don't think this looks that good. But maybe it's okay.
I mean, the thing about it is, I think of this as at worst, gain 4 gold. Okay, so like, if the
That's
Golden
true,
Oracle never becomes good,
Okay,
then
honestly,
like,
you're
will
right.
always be bad. But if the Golden
Yeah.
Oracle ever becomes good, this looks really strong.
Honestly,
to
I'm
me.
gonna put this in green. I see.
Like what are the Golden Ox units again? Like I think it's really common to have 4 copies of the units by
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially start off with 2, and then you can start printing 2 gold per round.
Yeah.
But this all depends on like 4 Golden Ox and 6 Golden Ox being like traits that are worth the play. If
Yeah.
they never become worth the play, then like obviously this is just structural problems that you can't solve.
Yeah, I agree. Seems really good. I was misinterpreting. But yeah, I guess we need to know if it works on copies. Probably works on copies based on how it's worded, but not super clear.
Mhm.
Hostile
The
take
heroics
over.
are
Oh, I
really
played this.
interesting.
What did you
They've changed heroics. The heroics are really interesting.
say? Oh,
I used to think heroic was an instant take on 2-1 as long as you have a 3 cost 2. Okay, by the way, I was on this train for like so early, and then people like across last finally started like just do it commonly. But I was on this train so early, you can just take it heroic and like double dupe on 2-1.
wait, sorry, you said they changed them?
But these are different gold rounds now, so like
Oh, yeah.
only 3 series turns
Yeah.
is the same.
I don't feel like there's much that needs to be said about these.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're different now.
I've never seen them give. I haven't seen them in a long time. Give a like base version of plus and plus version.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it does just give a lot of gold. I mean, this, like, even, like, obviously you wouldn't do this, but even if you were to sell, it's 13 gold. I mean, that's, I don't know what a gold augment would do if it was just straight up gold on
Gold augment
one.
is around 15 gold. That's why the previous version was so broken.
So it's just like a good econ augment.
Or
Yeah,
gold augment like is probably around like 17 gold. I think I did
Yeah.
calcs myself.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. And then, I mean, raining gold is 8 and then plus 1. But like, this kind of saves you obviously gain gold from winning rounds, then,
Yeah, like duping especially units that can shield themselves, stuff like Mord. People laugh at him, but like early game jargon. Rackets 2-1-2-1.
yeah, units like a solo carry. Hostile takeover. I've played this. I felt like it was not very good. I played this at literally like 10 streaks and my cash out was not that big. I don't know if I can find the game. That's probably going to be right now. But yeah, I feel like this was not very good.
It's probably like a take if 3 minutes worthwhile.
I was going to say underpowered.
Probably just like take it for 3 minutes good. If like 3
Yeah,
minutes.
take it for win streak.
Yeah.
I find it.
Oh no, I mean like take it for the 3. Like take it for the 3. So like
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like take it for the win streak potential. But I find it like getting, a gold augment for like 1 Draven is like pretty suspect. I feel like this is like a downside.
oh,
I mean, I guess
no, I
combat power, I guess.
don't mean for like for win streak. I mean for like
Fair
a
enough.
lot of times. No, like on 2-1, there's so many times we take an augment just because it gives you the third trait of the third unit of the cash out traits.
No, but you have to win with it because you only get 30% from losses. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
But like if you're taking it to loss streak with, Recycler, it doesn't.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
man, this is pretty bad.
I think I played with this and I 10 streaked and my cash out. I think I cashed out 5-5 and it was like pretty mid.
This is terrible.
But yeah, I'll just say it's
Okay.
underpowered.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take it. Sorry, I didn't listen to that works. I thought it was like a 3% bonus.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be insane. Holy.
Yeah,
100
I
killer
was
missile.
reading this. Really.
Every 6 boombot rockets fired. So this is basically just about 50% extra damage on your boombot trait. Roughly a little bit more than that. The boombot trait to begin with is, let's just say you play 4. Like
Probably somewhere around
let's say like 80% because it's also this.
It's probably around like 40-50% given resistance and overkill.
Yeah, because it's double difference resistant. Because like your damage is mitigated and then this damage is mitigated on top. So let's just say 40%, and this is like 50% of that, so it's like extra 20% damage on your boombot units, kind of ish. I
And you're
mean,
over
it seems
60+.
okay for Conwa reroll, I guess. But it doesn't seem that good. I don't know. Maybe it is. I think it's really hard to evaluate. But it doesn't seem crazy. But it seems like I'm also using a number 4 boombot. Yeah, 2 or 2. Hustler. I think Hustler's underpowered. This is my favorite. I really like Hustler going long. Like that's kind of like one of my favorite augment shapes, but I think it's just underpowered. I think it used to be overpowered, but they stopped giving it to you on neutral rounds, which is pretty impactful. Pretty cool. That's first stage.
This is one of my most hated augment types, so
I was gonna say I think it's
we're not taking it.
yeah. I really like Hustler going long, but I think this is Keep your friends close. So
I played it before.
I've taken this twice actually.
How do you end up resolving a position question?
Well, I play with Shaco reroll.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's not very good because for your Shaco, it basically gives you mentorship for your Shaco, and then your allies get even less things. I think it's terrible, honestly. Like just comparing 1-to-1 with mentorship, it seems like beyond terrible.
I took it once. I was playing TF reroll. Your main carry, if you're playing any backline carry, gets stuck in like not the corner.
Yeah, exactly. I'm done. I'm just very bad.
But it actually won me a lot of fights early game. I think it gives a Darius and a TF. Can you be able to check?
Yeah.
I think it gave me a Darius and TF, and I think I got so much tempo from it. I top 4 despite accidentally rolling onto one and then not hitting Darius 3.
Yep.
It's just like a lot of tempo. Like Darius plus TF is
I notice a lot of these new augments give. I don't even know why. I'm not sure if they're like bribing you to take them, but a lot of these new augments give like 2 units, which is very unusual. I think like historically it's almost never been the case that you would get 2 units from a gold augment. But we've already seen like 5 or 6 that give like 2 or 3 units even.
Yeah.
Like the Streaking one gets 3 units, 1000 IQ gets 2 units, 100 Killer gets 2 units.
I mean, I guess they bribed
This
us
gets
before. It
units.
was that Black Rose augment that gave 3 Black Rose units, but that augment was true.
Yeah, but then they just changed it. And then like Flatline gives 2 units. This one gives 2 units. Like yeah, these 2 units ones are really strong just for the unit. If you can get tempo off them. But I think otherwise, just like 1-to-1 with mentorship, it gives you slightly more than mentorship for 1 unit, but then you don't have it for like your other like 5 units. So
It also forever messes up your positioning.
yeah, I think it's very. But yeah, as with all these you can take it for the 2 units. Lethal rerouting. I mean, I would say same thing.
Yeah, I think the trait itself sucks, but they give you Vayne and a Shaco.
Yeah, like this
This
is
is
like
a less
slightly
good fight
underpowered.
than usual.
Yeah.
Seems mid.
Yeah, I'll just say slightly worse than bullet
I think
combat.
this is fairly bad, actually. Like, especially the over 50% HP part, giving 20 AD on the Slayer line,
Yeah, it's kind of multiplicative
which is like
scaling.
100 AP.
I mean, I'm biased just because I've been playing a lot of I've been playing some like EWC scrims, and I mean, it's just, like Slayer's just like literally the best comp in the game right now because of Vayne.
Oh, I agree with that.
So I'm kind of biased for this, but yeah. But I agree.
I think
I mean,
also that might be
it's that
overpowered,
multiplicative
but
scaling. Then it's also
I
overpowered.
think a lot of times you want to take something else and play Slayers instead.
Yeah. But I mean, like just gain of Vayne.
No, that's fair. If you think Vayne is that broken.
But I mean, it's the same with. I would say a lot of these are similar, but they're not very good. I think like this one's really bad, and this one's like slightly worse than like generic combat.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think being a TF and a Darius is a lot better than being a
Vayne and Shaco. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like Darius is so good early game. And you can just like content him if you need to. I mean, Darius is like last at Darius, except like he's a 2 cost and he has 2 range.
yeah. I mean, the way I look at it is thing is like, I feel like I would only take this if it was giving me like Twisted Fate 2 or Darius 2.
I know what you mean.
Okay. Anyway, liquidate. Decipher until you're bored and what? Is this so broken?
What the fuck?
This might be the best augment in the entire game, assuming you
What
get
the fuck?
Decipher.
Wait. You can choose when to do this. This is Blank Slate Plus.
Okay.
This is Blank Slate Plus.
This can't be real, right?
This is Blank Slate
It is
Plus.
real.
This is better than Blank Slate.
Yeah, I don't understand how this can be a real thing because before like let's say you want to cash out a 4-3 hypothetically, you just roll by your entire shop on 4-2, and then you like triple your gold. I mean, this seems like the best augment in the entire game.
How much do you afford? So your board generally maybe have like 2 upgrades, like I don't know, like 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus like 2 plus 2. Let's say you didn't high roll 10 4 cost.
I mean, I say if you don't like the way I think about it is like let's say you have 0 upgrades, right? You have 9 bench slots, 8 unit slots. Oh, it's only your unit. It's not your bench. Oh, so it's 4 and bench. Yeah.
No, it's just Blank Slate plus.
Right. So I'm thinking like just to make it math simple. I'm just
I think
saying
you
you
can-
have 0 upgrades, right? So you have 17 slots. Let's just say on average you'll have a 3 cost. Although I actually think you'll have more than that on average. 17 times 3. So you're getting 120 gold from this.
I mean,
I mean, this is game change for sure, right? There's no way this stays. Like, I feel like I can't even get this green because it's not in the same tier with the other green ones, right? This can't be real.
blue, sure.
5 alarm fire, orange.
But
Yeah,
like,
this is 120.
this is Blank Slate plus because like the problem with Blank Slate is you couldn't prep for it. It was broken when you could sell things for twice the cost.
Something's wrong with this.
Also, I don't know what you're going to play gold for.
Oh, you have
That's
17
51.
times 3 is 50. Oh, 100. 102. This is right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I think on average you'll have more than this, right? Because you'll have upgrades. I just
You'll
think this is
and you'll be willing to buy more cost to prepare for it.
Yeah, definitely.
It is just so insane to me.
I don't think I've seen an augment this strong ever in the history of TFT that I can think of. I mean, I probably have, but not to my knowledge.
What's the strongest augment ever? Was it
The one that when I think of the strongest augment I can think of is set 7 think fast. You could roll for an astral trait, 3-star astrals, which would start giving you like 7 gold per round. It would also give you a board, so you would full win streak stage 2 while making 7 gold per round.
Right, think fast 2-1 with econ traits.
Yeah, the trait basically gave you more gold based on the start level of your astral unit, so you just restart all of them on 2-1.
Wait, you talk about like 3 on 4, 4-3, but I think if you can, you try to do this on like 3-7. You get enough gold to go
Yeah.
9 years, and you might as well minimize your risk.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely go 3-7.
Wait, I had a question. So basically, like first, it used to be 250%, and they bumped it to 300 in like the recent patch. So do you think it's not because like either like that it makes a diff, or like the people are just using it incorrectly? And also, yeah, because people suck. That makes sense.
Okay.
Second off, I never played Blank State, so like if you have like a bunch of gold, like how do you navigate like winning out? Like do you just like play to like your items or like your other like how do you like navigate?
You have to be a little bit quicker, but a lot of times, so there's a couple things you can do. First, sometimes you'll just have items that will commit you to a certain comp, right? So like let's say I know when I play Zeri. If I just get 100 gold, I just commit to playing Zeri with no units on my board, no units on my bench. My spot is going to be really good, even with nothing. Other times, if you're not that committed, you can kind of like flex around like the first thing you hit. But like I mean, I would say this augment's kind of unusual, and that gives you so much gold. Average to level 9. But typically, like a lot of augments that will give you a huge gold influx, but you don't have any units. you just commit to a comp, right? Because like part of the downside is you might not have a lot of time to think. I mean, this one, like Rain said, you just did on 3-7, so you have a full neutral round as well. But yeah, you can either kind of commit to a comp, or you can kind of like just commit to something early to what you hit. I wouldn't flex too hard.
Yeah, just to talk about it, in terms of capping out, it's actually really rare. Like, it's actually really rare that people can hit a full board of 2-star 5 costs. If you just make like a full 2-star 5 cost board that has like some interval linking synergies and you play around the 5 cost carries, like it's actually really rare. Even if you take an econ augment, even if you take double econ, if you're like full 2-star 5 cost cap board, that people can outcap you. In addition to that, if you think about some similar augments, there's a prismatic augment like high in chopping. I don't think it's like super broken, but it's not like it's like maybe takeable. It's probably at least like better than gold augments. This like gives you more than that because 102 gold is more than enough level from 8 to 9, as well as giving you like a +1 unit slot compared to the prismatic augments. So navigating correctly, having at least 3 costs on your board, or having more if you pick up some 4 costs, you basically can usually gain the worth of a prismatic plus a fawn, in addition to having some sort of cipher cash out, which helps you sell your board even more. And you can buy all the good legendaries. You can usually go level 10 because like once you've like even like 1 legendary, it's really rare that you lose stage 4, and oftentimes really rare that you lose stage 5. And you can like literally be level 10 with like every single 2-star 5 cost max. And being early has a ton of advantages to that because like if you have an early Zac or an early Garen, you can scale harder than anyone else trying to cap out.
It's probably like it's like double forward thinking, right? And you
It's like 1.5 times as much, but you can cash out on wolves instead of like.
Yeah, like some of these sets legendaries are set up in a way where hitting them early really does benefit you. Like there's 3 of them: Zac, Garen, and Urgots. And Urgots farming just got buffed. So you can get extra components /items, you can get extra traits on your board, and you can get extra HP on your, like one of your main tanks. Probably your main tank if you like actually go level 9 on 4-2 or 4-1.
Yeah. A lot of what we're talking about is pretty relevant for forward thinking. But I think there's no way this Augment is going to stay in the current shape. I would bet any amount of money. Oh, I also want to answer another question from Henry earlier. So right, a lot of times balances based on stats. If you just look at, for example, let's go at 13 unit stats. You'll notice that all the worst performing units are all the Chimberans. Even Silco at 4 cost is performing worse than like all the 1 cost in the game, right? Like lower AVP than like less and everything. If you go to the PvE stats, it'll be the same thing for the units. Look at the worst performing units; they're all the Cypher units. So typically, a lot of players will intuitively associate this Augment with playing Cypher, and then they'll perform poorly. And basically, like the writers who designed this Augment, right? Like they designed it because they don't realize that it's super overpowered, is my guess. And then when it's performing really badly in the data, they probably think it's like, oh, maybe we should buff it a bit. But I'm gonna go ask them not to right after. We get done with this. Lowbug's got another small nerf, but I think it'll still be good. I mean, it's just good if you're not playing the cost for the most part. Manifold got a pretty big nerf. I think this is worth talking about. It got a 33% nerf from last set. I thought it was extremely overpowered before. I'm not sure what I think now. It got such a big nerf, but I think maybe it's still good.
I think this is bad now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really big nerf.
so like one Trojan unit, this just results in like 20% extra cast, but only on backline units. I guess maybe it's fine for Annie specifically, but I think 20% extra cast only on backline is not quite worth the gold augments. I think around like 20% damage jump is a strong gold augment, or like not 20% damage jump as a trades. Like somewhere like 18% damage increases is like kind of the ballpark of where like a gold augment is good.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. Nope.
But unless like your comp is only backline, or maybe you're playing Annie and like you don't even care about damage, you just care about number of casts.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds fair to me. Bank another double unit. This one's really hard to value. Actually, I spent 7,000 mana. I guess it just depends when you would get this. But this is like a cash out trade, right? Because 4% damage jump is very, very, very little. So it's basically just a cash out trade where it gives you an artifact, gives you a 5 cost also. I think this does not seem very good. First of all, the artifact doesn't actually synergize with unit. Second of all, I mean, I feel like I would rather just have Horrible Forge and take Azanias. It does give 3 gold, which is pretty relevant.
It's terrible to me. It seems really bad.
Yeah, compared to just taking Horrible Forge and getting Azanias, it seems a lot worse.
Exactly. Most of the times you're hoping to not put the Zanias on Aurora.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't even know who you put this on. Like, it gives a non-synergistic item. Wait, did you say?
Hopefully you get Viego.
Oh, Viego. I'm done with that too.
Yeah, conversely, like, Manifold 1, I think, is still hilariously broken.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, also has a downside of forced to play Dynamo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty bad to me. Okay.
You're forced to play Dynamo, and then you don't play Dynamo in games, so you're probably playing MF, but if you're playing MF, like, and you're playing Aurora, like, I don't even know who you want Zanias on, because you're probably playing like a Syndicate frontline, or a Vanguard frontline. And then
there's not that many Zanias users that I can think of, except like reroll units or Viego, right?
Yeah, reroll Viego, maybe Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, I mean, Fiddlesticks. New high score. Player bosses increase their score when they deal damage. The game, I mean, we don't know what this is. Yeah. I don't know what the loot is. Table.
Is it just 8-bit?
8-bit didn't give you bonus loot, or the trait.
I don't think so. I think it was just a stacking, like you stacked up to 10 stacks and then you could go for the high score cash out, which won you the game. I think.
To me, this is basically just Spoils of War, but it doesn't tell you what the bonus loot is, right? It gives you some combat as well, I guess. So this is a combination of like Spoils of War and popping up. But we don't know whether it's good or not until they get us the loot table. Overclocked. 4 rerolls and Fury Ended. You got +1 amp. So compared to an amp emblem, it's weaker because you don't get the extra emblem, but on the plus side, you get 2 units and 4 rerolls. I think it seems a little bit weak to me, because so I'm thinking like this is about half the value, and then this is about half the value.
Terrible. Is this even takeable ever? You don't get the benefits of this like anytime at stage 2. You probably don't get at stage 3, so you maybe get at stage 4. I mean, you can maybe get at stage 3 if you want, like by stacking like Sunfire plus Love on your amp units. And
I think it doesn't seem that unreasonable. So I basically think like each sentence is about roughly like half the value. I think this one is more. Like this one's like 60%. This one's like 40%. So this is like 40%. It's like kind of getting like an amp emblem in a sense. But yeah, most of your units are not gonna have 3 items. I mean, that doesn't seem very good.
Like in Hearts, like it's like an amp heart, and Hearts are generally like silver augments.
Oh, that's true, amp heart. I didn't think about
I
that.
don't know. Like how do I put it? Amp, like I don't think amp units have anything special on like hitting specifically the 5-piece breakpoint rates. Like there's no like specifically.
I would think they would just gain 1 amp. They don't even gain like the 5 piece. They don't even gain like the HP. Like I would think it's like worse than amp heart until you have 5. That'd be my understanding of how it's written. Because you don't get the HP, you just get the amp. Okay. I mean, I'm about to say this is like underpowered. I don't think it's that bad to put in this one. I would probably play like Nitro, Nibbly, Neferi reroll. But
are you using the rerolls here immediately most of the time, or what's the plan?
I mean, that's why I think I'm kind of biased also because I think like this Nibbly reroll is. I think Nibbly might be getting nerfed again, but I've been playing this comp has been extremely strong, so you could just use all the rerolls on level 3, get like a Nibbly 2, a Ginger 2, and start scaling your bot like kind of ahead of tempo. But yeah, I think I'm kind of biased because the comp is really good right now. But obviously, like the comp being good right now doesn't inherently make this better.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's kind of why I'm biased for the Slayer. Augment that gives you a vein also.
Yeah, not that I can really like super good at it, but I really try to like evaluate augments like in a vacuum. Like what happens?
I mean, I feel like this is like pretty reasonable, right? Because like
the second part is good. The second part isn't terrible, but I think the first part is like so like when do you 3 on your carry? And like even after you 3 on your carry, when do you 3 on the second carry?
I feel like it's pretty reasonable to have 3 on Nibbly on 3-1 and then 3 on Neferi on like 4. Yeah,
and it seems possible to say if you have Neferi 2, 3 Exotech on 2-1.
Oh.
And that could be like a situation where where like I think that feels like a Neferi specific.
I don't think Exotech is that viable, unfortunately. But
I think that's what it's meant for. Ideally, is that you can because then you can have 2 completed items and a component on Neferi, ideally Neferi 2, and hopefully that just tempos you through stage 3.
Yeah, I would think of it as like 3 on Nibbly in Nitro, the Nitro line on 3-1, and then maybe Neferi on 4-1. That's kind of what I would think. But a lot of times it's kind of suspect because sometimes you don't have items that fit those champions.
Yeah, I can see why it'd be valuable. Especially just like having extra rules for Nitro. But I think as an augment, I'm not a huge fan of it like in its totality.
Yeah. Definitely does not
see how it would be good.
Definitely
like for a strong line, but I think you would rather have it different. Because like also like you can't get amp naturally, but like I mean I could be wrong, but I feel like 5 amp is like amp is one of the traits where like usually on these I call them like short verticals, like the capstone has like a huge bite at the end of it.
No, okay, I don't think this gives you like if you're playing 4 amp, I don't think it gives you the 5 amp bonus. I mean I could be wrong, but right? This wouldn't give you 500 HP.
Yeah, it doesn't give you the 5 amp bonus.
But on the flip side, it would let you get 6 amp, not that's super relevant.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah, amp is just like a stat, basically.
I see.
That being said, like going from 5 to 6 amp is not like that's not that relevant either. Because you start running into multiple scaling issues then where you have like too much of it. But yeah, I agree, that's affected.
Do you know what the value for 6 amp is?
Oh, amp is just a stat. So
it just gives you +1 amp, it doesn't give you more HP.
So there's no 6 amp trait, but I was saying if you already have 5 amp in and you have this augment, nearly would just hit 8 units, right? It's pretty straightforward. So yeah,
would being in like Vi or Universe or whatever with extra items.
Yeah, that changes it. I have a lot of reservations about it once you can guarantee that you can like fill your item slots up. But like it's not too hard to roll on 3-1 and have like items that you're not quite comfortable slamming. Because you have to make at least 2 completed plus one floating components. Sometimes you can't make a second completed item because you're like your items will be like ambiguous.
Yeah.
Or you're tutorial.
I can't.
I can't.
Okay. Oh, this one is really overpowered right now. Oh wait, sorry, this is not the one I thought it was. The other one is really broken. Let's talk about this one first. Makes 3-star Nitro champions. So all of them except Elise I think are pretty reasonable to 3-star, at least 30 gold. Gives you 2 Nitro. You can 3-star Elise. The combat power they gain is definitely not bad. How much does Just Gun No Pivot give you in terms of offense? Yeah, so it's like 2 stages of this. For the offense power. I think this is like balanced. Because the gold is delayed, but it also gives you a lot and it gives you power. I think this is like really good in high econ start where it's like you're likely to 3-star your champions by 3-1. They have like you get the gold and you can like use that to snowball, but in like a low econ start where a lot of times you're getting this on 4-1, it's not as valuable. But I think it's like slightly good. Like I think it's like slightly overpowered.
Have we talked about like me talking in terms of frameworks? My framework for stats is that I think somewhere around 20 AD and 23 AP is balanced for a gold augment.
Yeah.
So this is like a bit less AD than I would want, but like whatever.
Yeah, a lot of these are like kind of combinations, right? Where it's like it's a combination econ, but then it's
I hear that again.
My framework for stats is that I think somewhere around 20 AD and 23 AP is balanced for a gold augment.
20.
Getting this on 4-1, it's not as valuable. But I think it's like slightly good. Like I think it's like slightly overpowered.
Have we talked about like me talking in terms of frameworks? My framework for stats is that I think somewhere around 20 AD and 23 AP is balanced for
20 AD and 23 AP. Sec. In gold augment. 20 AD, 23 AP is balanced for gold augment. Okay.
a gold augment.
Yeah.
So this is like a bit less AD than I would want, but like whatever.
Yeah, a lot of these are like kind of combinations, right? Where it's like it's a combination econ, but then it's also you don't get it right away. I think this is slightly better. I would say like this is slightly overpowered. Like nothing. I'm not gonna highlight it, but
How much do you carry the Nitro units in Nitro?
a lot. I mean, Nidalee is like your main carry, like right now, but I think she might be getting nerfed again.
I don't know, but like I thought a lot of times Nitro, do like duo something that's like not a Nitro units.
Yeah, like right now it's Nidalee and Fury.
But like there's also like say
Yeah, so you're only getting this on like one unit.
Nirvana
Yeah.
plus whatever.
Yeah, so it's like maybe only get this on one unit. Yeah, maybe it's not that good. Okay, I'm gonna say it's balanced, honestly.
I mean, it's probably broken as long as like you're always carrying Nitro units as your primary. But if Nitro ever becomes a framework where like supers, like let's look at supers for example, right? Like if this augment was a supers augment from set 10, but was at 8, it would be bad because you don't actually carry the super units themselves. But if the Nitro units themselves always remain carries, I think this is good.
Yeah, you should carry Nitro.
Like, if Nitro ever becomes a framework for reroll, where you're trying to reroll other stuff, like say you're trying to play Morgana reroll plus Nitro, then this seems pretty bad.
Yeah, you're often carrying one of them because it's either Nidalee and then a Fury, or it's Kindred and then sometimes like Jenner's Zeri, depending on just usually like the traits you're investing into. Like it's very rare that you're gonna do Nidalee and Kindred, I think, because then you're not gonna be able to put like a bunch of amp units or marksmen.
To talk about Jin reroll, at least with the current balance, I think Jin kind of broken or something. I think that this would be bad for Jin reroll because
Yeah, it doesn't affect.
like Jin is like a huge super majority of the damage.
Yeah.
But if any of the Nitro units are doing like a significantly relevant portion of the damage, then I think this is good.
Yeah, I think you would only carry one of the Nitro units. Okay, power leveling. But yeah, I think the gold that it gives is just already like decent.
Yeah.
Power leveling. Yeah, giving it to just one unit, like if this is like only sure, I think it's pretty reasonable. Okay, Animal Squad takedowns have 30% chance to drop 1 XP, and then the gain. Yeah, they have all these combo ones, so this is like half pumping up and then half Balls of War, basically. Seems pretty good to me if you're committed to Animal Squad. It seems really good, actually.
The second part is the Animal Squad champions scale that well with attack speed.
Yeah, I mean,
Not bad. So this is like, I think the relevant portion is we'll just average out like say 7 attack speed or 8 attack speed.
yeah. I mean, this is the best, and then this is like Spoils of War. I think that's pretty good. But I mean, obviously you're committed to Anima.
Yeah, it looks good if you can stick with it.
Yeah, I think it's like almost good enough for me to highlight, but not quite.
Wait, by the way, I think the first one you see better than the second part. I think the second
Oh, for
part
sure. I mean, this is almost as good as Spoils of War, right? Spoils of War is like 30% chance for 1 gold. I mean, 1 gold obviously is better than 1 XP. And obviously Spoils will give you like an item component at some point. But I think this is like very, very close. Very close.
Okay, I can accept that.
I mean, most of the value is in the first part. It's slightly hard. Maybe I'll just make a note. Reactive Shell. Is this new? It is, right? Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I guess this is similar to like Shield Bash from last set. It's like flat damage. So let's say we're playing 4 Vanguards. We're going to deal each Vanguard shields twice for 7% total of their health. So it deals half of that. So it deals 35% of their health. It also gives them some more tankiness. I think dealing damage is like fairly comparable to shielding. So it's like your Vanguard shields are like 50% stronger-ish, kind of. I think it's like somewhat reasonable.
Wait, it has to be worse.
Oh, it's worse because it's mitigated, yeah.
Yeah, and shielding is not.
I mean, it's definitely worse. I mean, okay, this is flat damage.
60% of the value, maybe.
Yeah. Seems okay to me if you're playing vertical Vanguards. Basically, the way I would think about this is with 4 Vanguard, they shield twice for 33% or 35%. Oh, 32%. Okay. So basically, with 4 Vanguard, they shield for about 60% of their max health. So they're dealing half of that, which is 30%, but that's mitigated by magic damage. So about like 20% of their max health. But they also gain max health, which is pretty nice. So this seems like okay. 8% max health on like a 2000 HP unit. Obviously, a lot of your Vanguards are gonna have less than that. Okay, honestly, like maybe a lot less.
Oh, I don't know if this is good unless you have 6 Vanguard. I think on 6 Vanguard this becomes very good. I don't think it's that hard to be determined to play 6 Vanguard though.
I don't think
So
6 is that much more than 4, but sure. I mean, you obviously get more in your second pocket.
Yeah.
I feel like by the time you get 6 Vanguard, the flat damage is a lot less valuable also, though. Which is why I was using 4 to begin with, because I think when you do take this augment, you're definitely thinking about playing 6. It kind of reminds me of Shield Bash from last set with Sentinels dealing damage, where it's like kind of good tempo, but then doesn't do that much like it.
Do comps that run 6 Vanguard often lack for damage? Like I just haven't played a lot of Vayne. Like if you run 6 Vanguard to Slayer Vayne, is she usually doing enough damage to get through herself, or is the damage actually useful there?
So in general, these flat damage augments tend to be stronger early game, because like late game you just have like a lot more multiplicative scaling from like having full build on your carry. But yeah, I would say like any comp, if you're investing like 6 of your 8 unit slots, like let's say level 8 in like Vanguards, you're usually going to be pretty low on damage. I mean, it'd be pretty overpowered if it was not the case.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
I think to me that seems like fairly balanced. Like, I'm having a hard time saying whether it's like good or bad. Yeah, like a lot. I think a really big relevant part to a lot of these are just improvements. I'll say like seems balanced, hard to tell. Okay, this one is pretty hard for me to evaluate. When Bruiser dies, it currently gains 40 health. So let's just say they die every other round.
This is terrible.
Obviously,
I
you don't. Yeah.
I just think this is terrible.
So no scout, no pivot is 12 health. So I think it's like 3 times as much, but then you're not getting it. So I'm saying I think like you get half the rounds. So it's like 1.5 times as much, but
can you tell me what framework of comp wants to play Bruiser, like in low cost Bruiser specifically?
Yeah, definitely doesn't seem that good because your main Bruiser is Shogath, not gonna get advantage of the scaling. I guess this would be good if like
if Mundo carry becomes a thing, I think this is still not takeable because
Yeah,
every single round that you're getting the health you've lost.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
your bruiser can't like I've seen this with someone like try with like Paladin Ascension. The problem there was that either you got the health or you won the round. Like
Yep,
you
I
really
agree.
have it the other way. So like
I'll say very bad.
so you need to play some sort of like 4 bruiser plus 1 carry on level 5, and you want to reroll the low cost bruisers as well. I think it's just horrifically untakeable. This thing needs to be like 60 health for it to be like takeable.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's worth knowing like Cooking Pot, for example, gives you 40 health. Obviously, this can give it to more than one unit, but also does not give you a 10.
Yeah.
Which is more than half the value of Cooking Pot.
Maybe if like some sort of like Gragas plus 1 bruiser, like if Gragas more Divinic Core becomes like a viable option and you have both of them on 2-1, then I could kind of see it, but like still not really.
Yeah, I think this is useless.
And
Oh,
if
this
you
is
have
new.
like a Gragas score board on 2-1, how many rounds are you actually going to be losing, right?
Yeah, you need them to both die. Get value. I estimate this as comparable. This entire thing is comparable to your bruisers gain 20 health per round. Like, it's obviously not perfect estimation, but that's kind of how I think of it.
I agree. I think that's takeable.
Yeah.
Before dying, who wants to jump onto the I mean, what?
35% dealt by rockets. I think that 35% dealt by rockets is really ambiguous. Is that like 30% dealt by rockets? Oh, is it like one rocket? Or is it like all the rockets that have been fired the entire round? Like, is it like one rocket?
It's really bad
Really
if it's
ambiguous.
only 100 extra damage.
Yeah.
I think it's across the whole round. I don't think it makes sense otherwise because there's not that many boom bots.
Dealt by
So-
rockets the entire round doesn't make that much sense either, right? Because if you have 4 boom bots, then you're just doubling your rocket damage, pretty much.
Why is that?
That seems like way too much.
I mean, not really.
I think that seems like too much. Like we said, the 100 killer missile. We said this was basically like 50% of your rocket damage.
Sure.
So isn't
I
this like
think
double as good?
I think this is significantly different because
What's the
well,
four
what's the 4 boom bot comp you comp? Like you play Fiddlesticks, right? Like if your Fiddlesticks dies, like you need to be in a 1v1 to win.
I mean, this is also AoE as well.
Yeah, but like, it's adjacent. Like if unless they have like a comp carry, like it basically has to be 1v1 Fiddlesticks to win. I don't think this really does much for the other boom bots aside from like Cho'Gath. Like only Cho'Gath and Fiddlesticks benefit from this in a boom bot comp, in a 4 boom bot.
Whole square.
Well, also if your
Oh,
boom bot's
okay.
the last unit alive, then they're not getting the value, right? Like if Fiddle dies last. Oh,
Before
49. My bad. Thank you.
So they probably like die once they after they explode 2 damage. Based on wording at least, right? Sometimes code things differently from how
No, I think
reads like
right.
intention.
To me, 35% dealt by rockets the entire round seems like way too much damage.
Is there any chance it's rockets
What?
fired by them? So like rockets generated by
Oh yeah, sorry.
Fiddlesticks' damage.
That's what I thought it was.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Sorry, maybe I got my wording unclear, but that's what I thought it was going to start. Like I thought
That
Fiddlesticks was
would
rockets
make the most sense to me, yeah.
because I think any of the other 2 states is just unbalanced and like just held hilariously bad for gold augment and like
Hilariously good.
yeah,
I thought it was.
like yeah, I generally tend to like somewhat trust rights, not in everything. So like I
Pretty
think I generally trust that like they generally tend to make gold augments within the bandwidth of silver and prismatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them is not. But liquidate is probably better than like every single prismatic in the game. Actually, sorry, not most prismatics, but every single prismatic in the game. But aside from liquidate, like it's not like I look at any of these other augments. I think they're better than prismatic or worse than silver. And I think
Yeah,
if
sure.
self-destruct reads like either of the other 2 interpretations, it's either a silver or prismatic.
Yeah, I think that interpretation is probably slightly bad then. But it's hard to say.
Like if you have like boom up +1 from like what's it called now? God of the Net encounter.
Oh, true, yeah. Yeah.
Then it's pretty insane because you get 4 boom bot really early. Plus flat damage is really good early game. Like I don't know if I agree with you that's bad because we talk about Tempo a lot. Like, 350 flat damage like twice is so good early game.
Yeah.
Like you also position around. You can position for them to clump.
Yeah, maybe it's good.
I think I'd be committed playing like what's the one called like Fiddlesticks right now,
I
right?
think this is also what you're saying, like evaluating it outside the trait. Boombot. It's hard for me to imagine a comp that wants to play 4 boombots like in my head, but whereas like this is flat damage, right? But it's less flat damage. With 4 Vanguard, your Vi 2 will deal like 200 damage total.
Mhm.
But it's easy to play 4 Vanguards.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, obviously, like a 4 boombot is just a good comp, and it's just as easy to play 4 boombots then.
Yeah, I mean, this is 350 and it's AoE and
Yeah,
it's
sure.
a lot of things that
Sure, I'll say it's good
if 4 boom becomes a comp, I think it's quite good. Like I think the early game value is really good, and then it has an okay scaling for the late game. That's not like I don't think it's insane or anything, but it's just like not horrible.
This is one I was thinking about before. It's very overpowered right now. I think I'll just say Sophie. It's pretty straightforward. You just nitro, get extra turret. Speed kills. Is this good? Rapid fire champions start at 2 stacks, so it's 8% attack speed, and then up to, or I guess you might play more than 2 rapid fire with this potentially.
I have a really hard time thinking about how to win fights in 18 seconds. I have a really hard time because I definitely don't think it's a full gold combat augment.
Yeah, it seems pretty bad to me.
I think this is close to untakeable
I think it's
because
untakeable because
rapid fire is also a scaling trait. Like you don't burst things out of the gate.
another way I would think about this one is, first of all, if you win combat at all, gain 2 gold. I think this again is close to just gain 1 gold per round because you win about half your combat. It's pretty reasonable to say. Obviously it's not that simple because you can take this if you have a really good opener. But yeah, like Rain said, rapid fire is a scaling trait. I don't think it's very good. I guess like if you somehow have like rapid fire +1, you can play like 6 rapid fire. But
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of this like almost at all. I think it's harder to get a total 10 gold from this thing than it is to cash
Yeah.
out. Like the
Cash
what's it
out before
called?
Cypher.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how are you winning fights in 18 seconds? It's so hard.
I agree, yeah. Okay, support Spire. I mean, this is awful to I feel like. It does give me 3 units. I just have the question marks here. My tagging spree, 3% attack speed for up to 4 units. A lot of times 2 of these are on the front line. This seems, it does give you 3 street demons. Oh, it gives you 2 extra spray cans. Okay, so 40%, 20% attack speed for 4 units on the back line, 2 units on the front line. I mean, this seems really good if you're playing street demon.
Okay.
I mean, 53 units, and then this is
do you
already like.
spray non-street themed hexes? Like, do you have to spray
Actually,
like,
that's a good question.
hexes that are already like street themed, or can you just like pop these wherever? Like, can you actually corner your carries and like put a flying tank in front of it? Because you can, then it's like definitely good.
Okay.
I mean, it has the current problem where like it's not very takeable because currently street demon is not generally takeable at all. But eventually.
I think.
By the way, I took this and you can spray blank hexes.
Because if you compare the 20% to pumping up, this is after 12 rounds, so equal to pumping up before 2, but it gives you units, which is pumping up is obviously your entire team. This is probably 6 units, 6 out of 8 units. Chugwood, I've actually played this twice. I don't have traditional feelings either. One thing to note is, I'm not 100% sure, I think its cast animation scales with its attack speed. So like Quicksilver's. But I'm not really sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not that clear to me. I don't have strong feelings one way or the other. I have played it twice though.
This kind of stuff, you can generally just like kind of switch stats throughout the thing. Like,
yep, agreed. Because no one's gonna have a Quicksilver Gragas unless they have Chugbug, so you can just like see what Quicksilver averages on Gragas and can kind of extrapolate the averages of Augment.
Or you can be lazy and do what I do, which is you join Bishop's Discord server and then he usually plays it at some point.
Am I in there? Alright, join it then.
I don't know. It's a something.
Yeah.
It's his stream Discord. I don't know. Like, if other people are gonna do the work, I'm not gonna be lazy to do the work myself.
Yeah. Like I said, I played this twice. I've gone QSS, Mittens, Archangel. I've gone double Rage Blade QSS. I've only played twice, but I tried like 6 different builds because it's PvE. I just removed my items and tried out different builds in the same game.
Wow.
I don't really have strong feelings with this card, not still. I think Rage Blade is probably not that good though, because its base attack speed is low.
Okay, I mean, I don't know how it works, so I've never played it.
Trade Tracker. A lot of people think this is very overpowered now because the emblems themselves give you bonuses. The emblems are kind of like half items on their own. So 6 emblems is almost as good as like 3 items in a sense, including what it gives you, like in terms of combat power, just without the traits. So I personally haven't played this yet, but a lot of people think it's overpowered.
Is there like a particular bent to Exotech or Divinicore here? Or is it just not that important? Like you can just play this on anything?
Yeah, I would say Exotech definitely gets the most benefit, but I don't think you have to play Exotech. You get about half the benefit of Scrap, I believe. Wait, is that even right? Scrap, each item is 80 HP on 6 units. Yeah. So each item on Scrap is about roughly 500 TMI shield, but it decays, or like it expires at some point. So like I estimate it as probably about 80% of the value, 400 TMI shield.
By the way, Exotech gives you 30 HP per item and 2% attack speed per item. So that's why Exotech is kind of like the scrap of last set for Trade Tracker.
Exotech is like 200 HP per item. So each item on Exotech is about, each item on 7 Exotech is about half the value on 6 scrap from previous sets. So I don't think you have to play Exotech.
Gotcha.
That's kind of how I feel, but I'm not really sure. Might as well make a note of that. Okay, transference. When amp champions die, the nearest amp champion gets 1 amp in combat. This seems terrible to me.
Right, here's. How do you feed the right amp champion amp?
The way I would think about it is, I mean, this seems really, 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 really bad. But the way I think about it is like if you're playing, I can't find Lily. If you're playing like a Yumi carry or something, but maybe something like this, or like this even. But this seems really bad.
Middle Yumi, yeah, I wouldn't do it. You can like get 2 amp if you want. It's not unreasonable to get 2 amp.
That's very bad. I want to talk about this that much longer. Because first of all, you have to agree for positioning. Second of all, getting 2 amp after the units die is pretty bad. Like delayed combat. Bastions start, combat bonus ends, 50% cover. Okay, this is kind of an interesting augment. I don't know if it's any. It kind of reminds me.
You can hit Renekton.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know how reliable playing for Renekton is. Maybe this is offered on 4-2, right? Like if you're playing like Bastion Zeri,
yeah.
Especially if you somehow already have Renekton, this is very
good spot, yeah. It's kind of weird because like the only unit is 4 is Renekton. Like who else would it? Let's take a look at the Bastions.
Yeah, the inject AD scaling is on the other units.
I don't think it does anything for any other unit. No AD scaling. 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 It's AP though, also attack damage. Even still though. Well, like any of these units care about auto attacking at all.
Also, did this not get nerfed by them continually nerfing the Bastion resistance? So like you're getting less AD and AP because the bonus is smaller as well?
Yeah, I mean I think of Bastion as like, I always think of like Bastion, Vanguard, and Bruiser. Like the 3 of them should just be balanced. So like yes, Bastion has been nerfed recently, but it was also really very overpowered. So.
Right, for sure. I guess it indirectly affects this augment. Like they nerfed it for the Bastions are obviously just too strong, but now this augment is incidentally worse than whenever they first put it into the game.
Yeah, that could be the case. That happens a lot actually. But yeah, it seems like it's only good for Renekton, which is kind of weird. Okay. Otherwise, trial run. Gain an Exotech Golem with copy of feature Exotech items. Okay, gains health and attack damage for Exotech star level. So this is most similar to.
I'm carry now.
Yeah, but as a gold augment. I mean, it seems good if you're playing 3-7 Exotech.
I don't know why, but it seemed shockingly mediocre to me when I played it.
Okay.
But
I mean, I think 7 Exotech is not a real comp. Also. So.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
But like, if you somehow are playing 7, it seems good.
But I personally did not very much like it, and I thought my stuff was okay for the golem.
Yeah.
It just didn't do much.
They probably need 7 extra pets.
This would also get better if they like buff the extra items.
Yeah, of course. And it's also better items are synergistic.
Yeah.
Like the mana on Augment is probably just like never good for the golem.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for gold augments. I think there's less prismatics. There's definitely the most new gold augments by far. Like silver, there are 4 new silver augments, and 39 new gold augments. I thought we were gonna be done in like 5 minutes, but then we're not done in 5 minutes. Circlets, if you get them later in the game, they don't give you an item. I personally think this is really bad, but obviously, like, if it gives you 10 animal squad, then it's really good. So.
I think I will not be taking any circlets unless I can hit one of the 2 streets.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like their balancing is like very heavy-handed. Like losing a full item, like I don't see why you can't just go like in between and like just give you one component, right?
They used to do that. I don't know why they don't do that again. Like they did that for like really strong.
Yeah, like
really strong things.
but yeah, I think this is. I kind of agree with Rain. I don't think I'll be taking animal squad circlet ever unless I already have a spat. I think I get level 10. Okay, Axiom Work. By the way, I just played this like a few hours ago. I played this right before my Ross game. I went first with Vayne. I think it's really strong Vayne. Axiom Work. I mean, I think Vayne has been nerfed like 4 patches in a row, so she might keep getting nerfed, but we'll see. It's
just, she just proc level on using her spell. Like how many times does her spell proc on attack?
3. I mean, her ult just does like it just does 3 attacks. Like that's just what it does.
Okay, I see. I see. I
but Vayne, when we first started playing Vayne, she was 40 mana. Now she's 80 mana, and I think she might still be getting nerfed. Axiom Work. Your units gain 50 mana on kill, gain item level. I think this is pretty bad. I think this is really bad, honestly. I don't know what else to say about it. Not enough mana. 15 mana on kill is like barely more than 1 auto attack. It's like if you have a Shojin, it's 1 extra auto attack. And item level is like 40% of the power, so this has to be percent, which I just don't think it. There used to be an augment called Axiom Work 2, I guess, the gold version. I gave you 30 on kill as a gold augment, and it was not. It was considered okay. It was considered like good and certain. I think this is bad. Don't have much more thoughts on that. So this gives you 4 items. Been nerfed since old binary, up to 4 champions. Is this good? Gives you 4 items. I mean, that seems pretty good to me. I think it seems good, especially if you can get full value immediately. I don't think it's so good that I want to put it in green.
I think it's still very good with plus items. Because you want to speedrun 8 items ASAP.
Yeah. I think if you get at least 3 immediately, that means you're probably guaranteed 4 by the next stage. And 3 items immediately is a little bit more than like lightning speed or belt overflow, for example. Obviously, this has like another bonus with it, but yeah. Okay. And the binary items tend to be pretty good. They're like killer scrap items. Okay, blue battery.
Just look at your list of hittable stuff.
Sorry, what did you say?
Wow, this thing has gotten nerfed. Just look at the list of stuff you can hit. Also, wow, this thing has gotten nerfed so much.
Is it still good though? I think
it is.
Good.
I think you have to play Annie or Yumi.
Yeah, I think I have to play both even. I mean, they synergize each other, right?
Yeah. But blue buff is such a strong item in the current meta. Well, not that blue buff is such a strong item in the current meta. Unless they make drastic changes to the blue buff because of how the units are currently designed, blue buff will just be a very strong item in the meta.
Yeah, I think this is very good because it's like this basically makes your blue buff 50% stronger, kind of, and the item itself is really strong. Also, these units don't have basic P, so this is very, very, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very strong. I think it's like on the edge of like worth highlighting, but I think it's like maybe I'm not gonna highlight it.
Play the comp, like the strategist comp. I think it's good. It's not confused. I think you can only really play this with execution. Maybe.
So what? It gains 250 health and 30% attack speed, but it has to start on the second row. That's so weird.
Yeah. So the comp I think works with this is if you're rolling Vanguard base. I don't think Zed actually works that well with attacks.
I think it's pretty bad, honestly. I mean, it's actually very, very conveniently side by side with cyber implants.
No. The thing I talk about this is the thing I talk about is like drops 1 gold on death. You can farm 3 gold per round.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know if you can truly call it bad because you can hit this before 4-2. I don't know if you can hit it on 4-2-1. I think you might. I know you can hit it on 3-2. And on 3-2, I think it's worth considering if you can even remotely play around it.
You get 3 gold per round.
Like I was thinking about playing around it, playing Zeri, which I think is somewhat reasonable because if your Zeri has healings, like starting the second row isn't that big of a detriment.
Yeah. Okay. That's true. Yeah, I was undervaluing the gold portion for sure.
The gold per round is such a strong trait in general, right?
Yeah, I was still thinking this is like 1.5 gold per round, right? Because like it's a combat augment primarily, and you don't have a lot of chance to die. I mean, you could just
ignore the attack speed. You just do something. How bad is it then? 250 plus 750 HP on your board plus 3 gold per round. Wait, is it still really good? I think I've never seen this. Can you see this on T1? If you can see on T1, isn't it auto taking no matter what? Like I think on T1, if you see this, like, you actually always take it as long as you're playing friendly backline.
Okay.
Can your units die on 2-1 though? I feel like it's hard to get them to. But can you if you put it in Hex?
I think you can 5 loss with this if you don't make any items and don't play any synergies.
I guess that's fair. Yeah, 750 health is just so much. But you're
also in the early game, like you can also try win streak with it, and you get like 1.5 gold per round. You try win streak because like
sure, yeah. It's very strong.
This is really strong. Like this is better than cyber implants early game by a mile.
Yeah, that's true.
Like 30% attack speed and 250 HP for 3 units.
Yeah.
Until your position starts to severely matter, which like I'm not saying it doesn't matter early game, but matters much less in the early game. And in the early game, like friendly units generally still like use the attack speed fairly decently. This is really strong. I think you can like this out to like okay, if you hit on 2-1, I think this is an instant take. If you can use it, then I think on 3-2 you take. I don't know about on 4-2. I think commercial values in the old. Like I don't know. Is 3 gold per round a good prismatic? I don't actually know how
much combat later.
Yeah, but like how much gold per round is a good prismatic? Because like 4 gold per round would be a really broken prismatic, right? I think so, at least.
What's the easiest thing to compare to? 3 gold per round is definitely not a lot because you can compare like Ishard, right?
No,
Tiny Times is the easiest comparison.
No, I don't think Tiny Times is a lot of guys. Sorry, what are you saying, Fire?
That gold augment, the one that gives the dummy in backline that drops every 10 seconds.
Oh, gold for dummies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's difficult because Prismatic Augments, everything's like kind of out of whack.
I feel like Hedge Fund is like the closest comparison, which does not appear to be in this set.
How much was it? 20 gold?
It's 20 gold, which is immediately like 2 gold per round, but then like it very quickly starts giving you more than that. And obviously, like it would take 20 rounds at 1 extra gold per round to even make up for the initial boost.
Yeah.
I think 4 gold per round purely as a 2-1 Prismatic. Is that good? I don't think that's very good. I think that's worse than Hedge Fund. Oh, Hedge Fund is down here. Oh, Hedge Fund 25. Wait, was Hedge Fund 20 gold or am I tripping?
I think it was 20 gold. I said it was 20 gold before you mentioned anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
This? Yeah, I don't know.
It also has the benefit of being like, I think legitimately one of the stronger 2-1 combat augments you can hit, period.
Yeah. It's a very interesting augment for sure.
Right, isn't it combat-wise pretty similar to like Trifecta? Or that it has the gold effect on top? I guess Trifecta probably just
I mean, Trifecta is a good augment in general. I think Trifecta gives a bit more.
a little bit, yeah. That's fairly
And
close.
Yeah,
also
that's
you
pretty
get the benefit of not needing the second row unit in Trifecta unit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That seems pretty good.
But I was thinking about this, like, if you can play Executioners, I think this might be like really, really good Executioners.
Yeah, a little bit of the issue is I actually think there's some Street Demon patterns that don't have a second row hex. But
I see.
yeah, I definitely think it seems good. I'll just say it's good. I don't think I'm gonna highlight it.
Okay.
But it seems good. I don't think it seems like overpowered. It seems like I would say like slightly overpowered.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to build a mental framework for like a lot of silver and gold augments, but Prismatics like rarely give their value in terms of one main stat, so
Yeah.
I never built up like a real solid mental framework about how good Prismatics are.
Yeah. These are old augments that are back. You guys played recently, you might not have seen. This is generally considered very bad. This is generally considered slightly bad.
I think it's within Prismatic power creep, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were both untakeable.
That's true, yeah. A lot of newer Prismatics are stronger than the older ones. Because
Like,
this is considered very bad because they're compared to like New Recruit, which only gave you attack ground and no duplicate back.
Yeah.
And this was considered slightly bad.
Trying to unpower creep things, but then giving up and like they're like, okay, we need to bounce this, so we're gonna power creep it a bit more. And that's why we have now a lot of stuff that gives 5 components instead of like 4.
Oh, this is new.
In fact, what?
So what does that what cost give you? Now what cost gives you 20 plus 12 plus 4? It gives you 36, is that right? That gives you 4 more, so it gives you 40. This gives you, I mean, this is not the best comparison because like obviously, what's the closest comparison to this? Going long? No. That was the last big. Okay, either way, 16 XP, level up. Then maybe like 2 gold per round.
People are really optimistic. I think it can scout your lobby a lot of the times and make a decision, because sometimes like there's metas where there's 5 pipelines onto 1 and you're like, oh cool, I can play this. But I think a lot of the times this like if you're trying to contest, if you can contest like if you're actually trying to contest people with a prismatic swing streak, like some common examples are just having lucky gloves in general, on a frontline tank, like rating TG as well. Like if you're trying to test any of those, I think you like usually lose even if you're like up the full level.
Yeah, I think it's pretty bad because to actually go level 6 you have to pump 20, right? Like how can you afford to pump 20? So you're just level 5 against other people who are level 5 with like rating knowledge, so there's no way you can win.
Do you also have to pick, isn't it black market, so it's only going to show up where you're going to get extra gold from taking the most augment anyway?
Yeah.
That is actually a good point, right? Because everyone else is going to be stacking if you take this.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
If it's black market?
Because that means everyone only gets econ black market, right? Or am I wrong about that?
No, I think black market is by itself, like you said tags near it, let's just go back. I'm pretty sure like black market does not have tags. Oh.
Yeah, I think black
I'm
market
pretty
is its own tag.
sure black market is its own tag. And when you see black market, like I don't know if they do black market econ. Like I don't think that's a tag that they do.
Wait, I thought that's what someone just posted on this Discord about this thing, right? Wait, is that, oh, you posted that. Wait, so the way I interpret it is if you see a black market econ, everyone gets black market econ.
Yeah, but I don't know if black market econ is a category. There's 7 categories of augments with varying
That'd be
augment
right. Yeah, it's like, oh, black market is this
I
category.
think black market is a category.
Oh,
Black market
okay.
econ is a category.
That's so weird.
Specifically, they who's Uthers is one who right?
Right.
They mentioned that if you just read through it, they mentioned that black market is the largest category with most choices, which leads me to believe that black market econ is not a specific subcategory that you can actually hit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, I
Maybe,
was like,
maybe Riot's just the categories augments, like it could show up in black market and also.
oh, I think it's a meta TFT categorization, kind of like the econ on that thing.
Okay,
That makes sense.
I see. That makes sense.
I
Okay.
think black market is a category.
Yeah, black market is a category.
So if you take a look, like
I was watching gameplay earlier
huh?
in this game, and everyone in the entire game took item augment because it's item chain. But yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
I mean, if you just look through this, can you look at the black market pool? Just reopen the thing.
Yeah, why not? Black
So
market
like, we
is
can take a look. So how good is 1 Because I know you can tech overdrive on 2-1.
yeah, because other people
you
have stuff like
You can't have final reserves. I think you can take gargantuan.
there's no way to get this on 2-1, right? Really doesn't
Doesn't
help. But like people can have like charm. Maybe shock treatment is probably 2-1. I'm assuming.
Why is pirates? What is this?
It just boils war 3, but different, I guess. I don't know.
It's the same.
No, but it's different.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Exactly the same.
I mean, spoils of war 3, enemies have 45% chance to drop blue when killed. Pirates, enemies have a
Pirates
chance
just
to drop blue when they kill. I don't know.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. No comment.
Something nostalgia.
True.
Okay. Yeah, I don't feel like this is very good. Long story short,
I think it sucks.
I'm down to just winning it.
Prismatic Silver Spoon.
Yeah, you need to pump 20, 16G to be level 6 on Q3, right?
I think it's also completely unrealistic to be level 6 because you can only take those upgrades.
Yeah.
And then like you can't even afford the upgrades. I think it's horrendous. I think it's like nearly as bad as Warpath.
I think this is worse than Warpath.
No, Warpath's just a cash out. Like this, at least you get some gold.
Okay,
You
it's
get some
Prismatic, so you're playing down Prismatic compared to down Gold Augment.
gold.
Okay, but yeah, noted. Okay.
I don't know. Like I don't know what the meta will be developed. Like if people determine that econ is broken on 2-1 and everyone else has taken like I don't know like.
Well, it's always gonna balance out
lost-
because like if people determine that, then someone's like, okay, I'm just gonna take radiant relics, like have fun being level 6.
Yeah, but if you're in a lobby with like 5 or 6 stackers, then like I think it's fine to take it.
Sure. If you can scout, yeah. But then
But you
Armor
actually have to be in a lobby
resistance
with like 5 stackers. I hate final wizards. I hate last stand. Last stand is back to you, right?
yeah, they're both bad.
My worlds.
Lights back.
Future sight is different. Future sight is significantly different.
It seems better.
Yeah, that looks a lot better. Not using position units. I don't know if it's better. You can't cheese them. But you couldn't cheese them
You
that
can't
much
cheese
previously because it's not removers. Yeah.
Okay.
I keep seeing people backline their shroud for some reason.
Okay, I mean, no comment. All mirrors is kind of interesting. I saw Grey go first with this Coffee and Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I saw his 6 bruiser, 6 Cho'Gath.
Yeah, and Phoenix also had it in the same game playing 6 Sejuani. Or Tower Maze Sejuani, I guess. I don't know, it seems pretty good to me. You turn your Mondo into a Cho'Gath with the exact same amount of health. Doesn't have items, but like, I don't know, seems okay. I'm just play hard to evaluate.
Are there 4 cost tanks with a set amount of shielding? Leona, TFT, maybe Leona, is that what we're seeing?
I mean, Nico.
No, it's just durability. Because like, okay, like Cho'Gath's problem is that he's kind of like not flat shielding. If there's any unit with like flat shielding, this looks really insane.
Why would that matter? Sorry. Oh, because
Cho'Gath
the items.
is
You don't have items.
yeah. You don't have items, and the units like they have 1% of the original health, and like your window has less HP than Cho'Gath.
No, I don't think any units have flat. I mean, like, not really. I think like Sejuani or Cho'Gath is probably the best unit to copy.
2-star Kobuko.
Yeah, oh my god.
Hall of Mirrors, 2-star Kobuko. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be pretty insane. Each Kobuko gets like 1.6k HP or something, plus the spell.
This is kind of interesting. This is a prismatic, but it's basically like as good as no scout, no pivot. Oh, it's percent health. Wait, is this a lot more than 12 HP? Probably is. Like an okay amount more. Yeah, it's a decent.
How do you win? How do you win with lifelong winning?
History.
Because you're rerolling, you're not pushing levels. How many constants can you win on stage 3 without pushing levels? So by stage 3, you have 6%, like you have 10% bonus HP maybe.
It's pretty
And you
bad.
win prismatic. I think that's unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like if you have a, yeah, that seems pretty bad. Okay.
I'm not taking it.
Pirates, yeah, I mean, so put this in here since we're talking about all the new question mark. Probably better because of inflation, right? Yeah. But, yeah, right. Both weapons. I mean, this is an old one, but maybe we're thinking about what units can use it. The Fairy, probably. I don't know. Italy, maybe? These units both kill themselves a little bit, which is fine. Definitely doesn't seem amazing to
I think the only good unit with it is Renaissance.
Yeah.
But I don't know
yeah, sure.
about the scope weapons fighter reacting angle.
Yeah, okay. Shock treatment is basically a new augment. I mean, it's just flat damage, gain 2 stack shifts.
Is there so maybe like
It doesn't seem very good to me. But sure. Okay.
Sonic comp for flat damage is good. Is there like a vertical rapid fire comp where you can just like spam these?
Oh, that's possible, yeah. This would be Twisted Fate, I guess.
True. I guess if someone figures out how to make vertical rapid fire work.
Yeah.
I could work on the upper
Oh.
Dogma.
You'll work on like Vayne if you get replayed.
Yeah, I think you're losing too much. I thought about Vayne, but I think like not matching your AD and AP stats is usually too much sacrifice. It's not always the case, but I don't think Vayne is that broken to justify it.
Should be so broken. You can play on all 80 carries. Such. I think I too much now.
Yeah, true.
Just I should quirky.
Anything else new?
Think fast.
It's
Yeah.
back.
Play low average.
Oh, earlier when you were saying Liquidate gives more gold than every other augment, I was thinking it might like Ray might get more gold with this one.
Oh,
I don't think that would. 50 rolls.
I have to roll 50 times.
49 times, yeah.
Possible, but how I think leveling is a more effective use of gold than rolling.
That's true.
In general.
Yeah.
Oh.
The other thing lets you go at 9.
Until you hit your 3-star 3 cost on 3-2.
I hit this on 3-2 once, and then I hit Renekton. I hit 7 Divinicore, Renekton, Urgot, and I got called a cheater, and then I went 6th.
See, I haven't hit Think Fast yet, unfortunately, but everyone who I've seen has it has performed really well. Okay, I think that's it, right? Wise Spending used to be. Oh.
That kind of suck.
Yeah. Okay.
That kind of suck.
Yeah, I think
Well,
that's
like,
it.
I think it was at some point where you could cheese it by. There was some what's it called? There was some what's it called?
Wise Spending
There
plus
was
Think Fast.
some yeah.
Oh,
I
wait,
don't know. I think it's the opposite.
I mean, Wise Spending plus Liquidate. That's pretty good.
I think there was some like you abused it with some traits that let you roll.
In general, this is pretty similar to dual purpose in a way, like you're rolling and leveling at the same time. But dual purpose,
So bad.
you just like need a lot of gold because it's kind of a multiplier on your gold. So I think it's fine if you have like a ton of gold for whatever reason.
Mhm.
Yeah, this one's kind of new. It used to be for only one specific trait. I'll say it doesn't seem that good. Maybe it is good actually for 3 stars.
3 stars.
It's kind of weird. It's such a roll. It's just right 33 health. So basically, you have a chance to get like a prismatic worth of power or nothing. Like it's just like a
What?
coin flip.
Surely it's 333.
I don't know.
Surely.
I don't know. But I guess yeah, if you make a 3-star champion, that's 4 startups total. So you could potentially get like 100 something attack speed. I guess it's probably pretty good, but it's also random because you have a 1 in 4 chance to hit nothing.
maybe the typo is that it's 33% health.
I mean,
And Morton made it.
I don't think it's gonna be typo, right? They're all data mined. They're not manually.
3 would be terrible.
I mean, this is nothing.
Makes sense.
This might as well
Probably
take 0 health.
perfect. You can low roll, you can hit attack speed, or you can flip a coin between if you get the right stat.
Yeah. So I guess the way I would evaluate this is just divide all of these by 4, because 1 out of 4 chance times you don't get anything. So this is basically like 24% instead of 33% on average. I kind of think of it that way. It's pretty whack, but I think for 3 costs I can use. The problem is you're actually 50-50 to not hit, right? Because there's very few champions that use both of these stats. So you're basically 50-50 to get 25% attack speed when you start up.
I'm scared of taking
33. So it's like it's basically let's just say instead of all this weird stuff, let's just say give you like 16% attack speed when you start up. That seems pretty good if you know for sure you're playing around 3 stars.
I just see the augments like this where sometimes
You
you
either
just
win or lose a game, yeah.
Like if you're playing, I don't know, you're playing
Nitro reroll, you instantly win or lose a game, whether you hit this or this.
yeah, like you're playing, I don't know, like Nidalee reroll, and then you hit health plus 1, and you're like, oh great, I don't have an augment.
Yeah.
Health plus like if you hit health plus 1 type of stat, it's so bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take it.
It actually seems good on average, but like I would just be too depressed
Yeah,
about this.
I'm not gonna take it. I know it's EV and everything, but like it feels like a coin flip, whether you have an augment or not. Still like too sharp.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because for example, I mean like trifecta for example, right? It's gonna be 25% attack speed. Or what's one that or what's the calculated? What's called calculated?
It's like 50 AP, 40 AD.
Yeah, so this gets 40 AD. This thing can potentially give you 130 AD, so it can potentially give you 3 times calculated enhancement, or it could give you 120 health, which is like 1/5 of like bulky buddies. So it can either give you like 1/5 bulky.
Health? Sorry, am I misevaluating it? Do you get 2 upgrades or 1 upgrade? Oh, sorry, 2 upgrades or 3 upgrades?
For a 4-star, I think you get 4 upgrades. I think, but I'm not sure.
Wait,
Sorry, 3-star. For a 3-star, I think you get 4, but I'm not sure. It's not clear to me. I believe that's how it works in set 6, which is what this is
What?
from.
Wait, how are you getting 4 upgrades? Wait, what?
Well, we make a 2-star kindred, it gets 1. You make another 2-star kindred, it gets 1. You make another 2-star kindred, it gets 1. And then when they become a 3-star, so you get 4 total. I believe that's how it works in set 6. But it's not clear.
Okay. I see.
Okay, I mean, this is. I'm gonna complain about this. I'm gonna complain about liquidate, and then yeah. All right, cool. So that's all the new augments. So what stands out? 10,000 IQ, definitely overpowered. Power weaklings. If this comp is good, I think the numbers are way too high. Cyber deck. This is basically binary airdrop. It gives you 3 items as a gold augment instead of binary airdrop being 4 items. Obviously, you have to play exotech. But if exotech is good, this is gonna be good. They're also slightly stronger than craftables, like we said. Golden fleece. This, even if you immediately, I guess you have to play the Oxforce, like you're committed to Oxforce, but like even if you only play 2 Oxforce the entire game, it's only 4 gold less than rain gold, but it's very, very, very easily to be more than that. So I think this is pretty crazy. Spare parts.
Yeah,
This is
if Oxforce vertical is good, I think it's crazy. If Oxforce vertical is bad, then like no one cares about it because like you're playing 2 Oxforce.
Yeah. Tagging spree. I mean, this is basically like pumping up. We don't know if you can spray blank hexes. That actually makes a pretty big difference because a lot of times you want all 4 hexes in the backline. But yeah, this is pretty much better than pumping up. Let me read what this does again, because I forgot.
It's better than pumping up.
Well, because it gives you 3 street demons, that's better.
I see. Yeah, that's
yeah. Yeah, I think those are the ones that stand out. Obviously, like this. There's no way this is real. Like, you don't even have to play Cypher. You could just put Cypher in on 3/6 and then get 100 gold. That does not seem right. Okay, that's weird. All right.
For 100, it's a bit harder to get 100 gold because by then it's a little harder to get like full 3 cost average.
Okay, yeah. You'll probably only get like 90 gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 4 forgers.
And 4 forgers.
All right. I will upload this. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna go over the old ones. We talked about some of the ones that stand out. But yeah. Okay. Thanks for coming, everyone. I'm gonna go eat dinner. See ya.
Thank you. Thanks, Aesah. Thanks, Rain.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Night, everyone.
Cool. So that covers Aesah's augment analysis. Hope you have found this video helpful. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments about any of the video, please comment and include a timestamp to the section of the video that you're talking about. I hope you enjoyed the meta mindset of the day as far as playing your own game and figuring out a path for you, whether that's for TFT or for life. And I appreciate you watching through to the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.